Now I got to get back in my game. I'm getting close. I've been doing well on these 5-star drops.
Nice.
Got 13 out of 15 done. It's always that last one that hurts the most. All right. Oh, do I need energy? I'm gonna need energy. All right, so this is not a Noob versus Pro. This is our Takeover Tuesday stream. So hopefully we're going to be taking over some accounts, but we always like to get started with a little Noob versus Pro update, just so people know where we stand. And I had a good week last week, didn't I?
You did. I would say a phenomenal week, all things considered.
Yeah, I had a very good week. It's not even a full week yet, because on Friday we pulled our 2 times void shards, and I think I had 7 shards and you had 5. That's what happened?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, and we figured that was because on the previous void shard event you had like 6 and I had 4 or something like that. So we pulled the same number of void shards, just split up between the events differently.
Exactly. Yeah, I think there's just a little bit ahead on the missions or some challenges somewhere.
Right. But I had a good week because I pulled Runekeeper Dazdurk, who I called for. I was like the perfect champion for my account. I was so pumped. I'm still kind of like, just thinking about it, I get pumped. It's like, man, because on the one hand, like, a cool Void Legendary would always be fantastic, and I'm never going to say no to that. But at the same time, like, one of the features of these accounts is to show what you can do when you don't have those OP champions. As soon as you get one crazy OP champion, it changes the complexion of your account, and it would also change the complexion of, like, the videos that we do about these accounts. Now, on the one hand, I hope you get a crazy OP champion, because I want you to enjoy that and have that fun, and this is your main account now, so, like, I want that to happen. Yeah. At the same time, if I got some crazy OP champion and you didn't, it would feel very, I don't know, unbalanced to me. So Runekeeper Dazdurk is a perfect balance, I think. He was exactly what I needed for my account. My account was definitely lagging behind yours by quite a bit. But at the same time, he's a
progression champion for you.
Right. He's a great progression champion, but also at the same time, he's perfectly attainable. He's a void epic. You have to pull him from a void shard, but he's still an epic. So you've got a decent chance if you're pulling during 2 times events, you get a 16% chance of pulling a void epic. That's a lot better chance than, the 1% you get during like an ancient 2 times shard event for getting a legend. It's like you can get a lot of good epics, and I think he fit the bill perfectly. And I was shocked. I'm still shocked. It's the first time in 3, I don't know how many, if I put all the pulls together from all of my accounts, I've been playing Raid for like 7 years at this point, right? So, yeah, it's just the first time I've ever called for a champion and gotten the exact champion.
Called that shot, man. That was wild.
It was.
We've been talking about it. It wasn't just that one time. It was the day before. It'd been going for a while.
Yeah. I'd been kind of thinking about him for, maybe like 2 weeks. I've been like, I could really use a Runekeeper Dazdurk. But then that day we were talking about like who would help our accounts, and I happened to pull, the guy that I was thinking of. Just barely made that one. But so I've gotten a lot of progress in the last week. I'm really close to a 1 key on hard clan boss. I'm sorry, on normal clan boss.
I was about to say on hard. You got me beat already then.
No, I'm sorry. I've got a 1 key on normal. I am getting close to a 2 key on hard. So I think yesterday I missed the top chest by like, I want to say like 500,000. So 2 keys got me to like 11 million or close to 11 million. But my top key, the second key of the day, was over 6. So the first key was like 4.9, and then the second one was like 6.1 or something. So if I can do 6.1 twice, then I'm going to have that 2 key on hard, and I can start thinking about brutal. Where does your clan boss stand?
Right now, I'm 1 key. Well, easy, normal, hard is a 2 key,
Okay.
and then I can get up to the second key on or second chest on the brutal clan boss.
Gotcha.
But that was before just a little bit ago where I fully booked my Fane. So now that that's done, that's gonna make a difference.
We've got a clan versus clan going on right now, and so you've been saving up and waiting for this. So you increased your Great Hall.
Yeah.
What did you do in the Great Hall?
Oh, I just pulled a rare and I didn't look in what it was because I was trying to get to the Great Hall. I increased my accuracy for Spirit Champions to 6. So
Okay.
that's what I'm gonna take the 7.
And then you fully booked out Fane.
Yeah.
And now you're working on her masteries.
Yep, exactly.
And you still have to get a banner for her. So you don't have a banner yet. Sorry,
Yep.
I'm in the way of your masteries. Go ahead. Show the mastery. So you're getting close.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
It's a grind, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm running her Apothecary and Deacon up at the same time.
Cool. All right, so
It was a Skullsworn that I pulled. Great.
You've been making progress. But the other thing is you are level 51. You're count level 51.
Yeah.
And you have been grinding that. Like, it's been crazy because I am level 40. Let's see. I am level 47, I think. I just hit level 48 today. So you're 3 levels ahead of me. And yeah, and it's like that's accelerating. You're getting further and further ahead of me. And I think part of that is just you've been sinking like every last bit of energy into getting more 6 stars. So you have 4 current 6 stars and you're closing in on your 5th?
Yeah, should be done in probably before the end of the stream if all goes well.
And who are you taking up next?
So it's 99% Sylar right now.
Okay.
And that 1% chance is I have 1 primal shard that we're gonna pull in just a little bit here.
That's true.
and if I hit something on that,
yeah.
well then the plans are gonna have to change a little bit.
Okay.
But odds are it's gonna be a rare, and then I'm just gonna take Sylar to 6.
So your current 6 stars are Fane, Kale, Deacon,
and Apothecary.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the 5th one here would be Sylar, who I think is a great choice actually. Because the one thing you're sort of lacking in your... Well, no, it's not the one thing you're lacking. You're really lacking a tank. We know that you're lacking a tank.
Yeah.
But the one thing that Sylar gives you that maybe you're not getting from any other champion is really good wave control.
Yeah.
Because your current, like, focus has been primarily single target champions, you know, and like getting those going. So you've got your Fane there, who's a boss killer. You know, obviously, Kale, all the starter champions are all-around champions. They can do some wave clear. But this is going to be wave control because she's got that AoE turn meter decrease. She's also got that AoE slow, right? No, it's decrease accuracy. No, it is decrease speed. AoE decrease speed and decrease turn meter. So that's a really powerful skill, and you can use that against bosses. Even the Fire Knight, despite the fact that she only has single hits, because if you land that slow and that turn meter decrease, he becomes so much easier. And you have other champions who can continue that turn meter decrease with Armiger and Fane and Deacon. So, yeah, you look like you're in good shape.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah. All right, let's
just take a moment to say hello to all the people.
Yeah, let's say hello to some
JB,
folks.
Icky, Bo. How's it going, everybody?
Neothin, nothing. I don't know how you would say your name, but I like it. Good afternoon,
His name is The One.
The One. The CVC is tough. We've got a big challenge ahead of us. Yeah, we do. We're both clans, by the way, both clans are up against level 13 clans. For some reason, we are both level 5 clans. We were both up against level 13 clans. Your opponents have 24 wins. And let's see, our opponents have 28 wins. So we're looking at 20 plus wins in each opponent. The only upside, I think, is that when I look at the activity on the other side, our opponents have several players who have no points. They have 6 players with no points yet. Of course, on our side, we currently have like 10 players with no points. So
yeah, us too.
yeah, we need to increase that accuracy. So we need to shout out in the chat if you are in one of our clans and you haven't put in any work yet today. Get hopping. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? But okay, so yeah, so I did make some progress this week. Let's see. Let's get back to this. Okay, so I did make some progress this week.
Jody, Dane, Shock, everybody's here. How's it going, everybody?
Yeah, Geody, Exile, Alex. All right. So I keep flipping to the wrong account. I gotta turn this account off so I don't do that. So yeah, then in addition to the clan boss sort of progress that I've made this week, I've made a lot of progress in all of the dungeons. And so I've caught up to you on the dungeons now. So I am clearing stage 15 here in Ice Golem. I'm up to stage 13 in Spider. How far are you in Spider? I haven't even tried to push this yet. I got to 13 and I just kind of sat there.
Yeah, I haven't pushed Spider at all. So I think I'm at like 11 or 12.
Okay. Dragon, we're both at 16, I think, right?
Let me take a look. For Dragon, I've beaten 16, so I'm 17.
Okay. But you haven't
Spider,
beaten
I'm
17.
Yeah.
So you're at 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, the nice thing about stage 16 with the dragon is I'm pretty close to 100% there, which is so nice to just be able to farm that now. And then Ice Golem, I'm sorry, Fire Knight, what did you say?
For Fire Knight, I'm on 14.
Yeah, okay, so I haven't tried 14 yet. And then
I haven't pushed any of these in a while.
Yeah. I'm on this mission for Ice Golem's Peak, so I need to do that. And then that's going to help me progress here, and then I need some arcane potions. But I've got a lot of these already completed. The Dragon's Lair is going to be easier than the other ones. And then magic potions. What's open today? Is it magic? No, it's force. Magic doesn't open till... Oh, magic opens tomorrow. Okay, so I have time.
Gotta push hard.
The big progress I've made, really, in some ways, I guess big, is in Arena. Because I am very comfortably in Gold 1, and I'm crushing Gold 1. And the crazy thing about it is, like, I think my team power is maybe closing in on 80,000, but I'm consistently taking down teams that are twice my power, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, not every time. I'm still trying to pick my battles appropriately. And I can't just say, okay, oh, I'm at 87k power now. Yesterday I was at 77.
I was about to say you actually have me beat there, but no, now that I've leveled Fame, I'm at 91k.
Gotcha. But yeah, I still have to pick my targets appropriately, but I can do very well. Like, let's see let's go up against one of these teams here. There's an Arbiter. There's a Shuzen. That's also dangerous. Let's try this one here. There's a lot of UDK in the arena right now. Finding a ton of Ultimate Death Knight. Let's see how The good news is he doesn't create a huge problem, because either you can nuke around him, or if you can use your sheep on UDK, then you can actually, like, his passive doesn't work anymore. I knew that was going to happen. That Godseeker Aniri was a problem. Couldn't quite kill her. Yeah, this one might work too. A little tricky. I'm still giving up 50,000 power here, which is like, it's huge. And Artak can be a problem as well. And in fact, Rhonda's always a problem. Yeah, I'm not going to win this one either. I don't. Maybe. Oh, let's just call that. Yeah. Unfortunate. trying to show off my arena team, and I just got stomped twice.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, right?
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I don't have particularly good targets on this page, but I've been winning. I've been collecting gold tokens, and that's gotten my great haul. I'm doing okay here. Yeah.
Yeah, not too shabby. So you wanna do this this one pull, and then we'll get into some takeovers?
Let's go ahead and do that. So by the way, just so the stream knows, it is Sun's birthday today. Happy birthday, Sun! Let's get everybody to say happy birthday to Sun in the chat. Why don't we do that? It is Sun's birthday today. He is many years younger than me.
I feel old.
You feel old? Well, you know, this is the way of things, right? You are always as old as you will have ever been, right? That's at any given moment, you are always as old as you have ever been. So you will always feel old because you've only been younger than you are right now. But you're still a young man.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's all
plenty
relative.
left to go.
Age is relative.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, happy birthday, Son.
Yeah, David's birthday is tomorrow. Happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday, David.
I appreciate it, everybody.
Yeah. So for hopefully a nice little birthday present.
Yeah, well, we'll see, right?
Sun is going to pull a primal shard here, and we're hoping for something. I mean, honestly, there's so many opportunities here, but I'd love to see red. I'd love to see you hit red. That would be fantastic.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have my hopes up, but
yeah,
I figured I might as well.
May as well.
Let's give it a shot.
Okay. Get something good, something big. It's a rare.
Oh, there it is. And it's Avenger.
Yeah, it's Avenger. Oh, well. Well, you get the 150 points towards the CVC, and you get a 3-star chicken for the most desirable shard in the whole game. That's what you get.
What's funny is Avenger is one of my 5-star chickens right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there is a summon one, get one event going on right now, the extra legendary event. Which I think I'm going to be skipping on my main account. I don't think I'm going to be doing it. I'm not close to Mercy, and I think I have like 8 shards or 9 shards. But we have a fusion coming up. It's an interesting fusion. The Panda is an interesting fusion. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I haven't done my review of the champion. I was saying to Sun earlier today, I think that the Panda champion is going to be kind of interesting because I think it's a niche champion. I don't think it's an all-around carry. I don't think it's a super versatile champion. I think he'll have some uses. I don't think he's a bad champion. I think he's a good champion. But I think he's a niche champion. And for players who are in the late game or end game, if they pull him and they have the gear to use him and they can figure out, how to use his kit the right way, he could be a very powerful niche champion in like Live Arena or potentially in a couple of other places. But I don't think that he's a must-get. I've seen a couple of content creators who are like, this is a must-get champion. I think if you are early on and you'd have to stretch to get this one, I think it's an okay one to pass on. I'm not 100% sure that that's where I'm going to come down on, like officially, eventually, because I still have to do a little bit more thinking on him. But I will be going for him on my main account, simply because at this point I can get every fusion. I think I've gotten 3 in a row, and I really didn't. I mean, I had to stretch a little bit, but really, in order to get those 3, the reason I had to stretch is because I was playing 2 accounts and I started a YouTube channel. So I think just in terms of my account being able to do every fusion at this point, I think I can do every fusion. So 2+ years in on the free to play account, every fusion is basically doable, even with the inflation that's been going on, which I don't like, because I would like it to be a little bit easier. The trickiest part for me has actually not been the shards or the summon rushes or the champion chases. It's been the silver for the artifact enhancement. Getting 60 million silver during a fusion for artifact enhancement takes focus. You have to be focused on getting that silver. If you're not paying attention to it, because you can't just crush out 20 million silver in like 3 hours. You have to be doing it the whole time. And, especially once you've done a gear cleanse and you get to the point where you can't really afford to just sell gear because you're holding on to good pieces, it becomes a problem.
Yeah, I think at least for this account, I don't think it's going to happen. But maybe the next one. We're getting there.
We debated, and surprisingly, you're actually on the cusp. Like, you're close to being able to do this fusion. And if it were a better champion, like if Strategos Island had popped to this month instead of last month.
Oh, I would be. Yeah, I'd be trying to push for it.
You'd be trying to push for it, and I think honestly, you'd have a shot at it. The biggest issue for you would also be the 60 million silver.
Yeah,
because it's insane to get that amount of silver right now. If you can't farm like stage 20 of Spider, or if you can't, farm at least stage 20 of all the other dungeons, getting access to that amount of silver is just very, very difficult.
Yeah, just to take a quick moment, thank you everybody else that still wish me a happy birthday. I really appreciate it. But also, for all those that are interested in an account takeover, maybe like a little bit of a coaching, for those we've already pulled, as far as, we pulled. The wheel chooses.
The wheel chooses.
Wheel chooses. But, if you've been pulled recently, that we'll want to make sure we get new people in there. But do go ahead and just respond to my message in the Discord channel. You'll find the link in the description here. I'll post it in the chat as well for you, make life easy. And just react to my message in the Wheel of Takeover channel, and you're entered to win.
Yeah, so
I did it.
So yeah, we were talking about this, and I think the focus of Takeover or Tuesday Takeovers is to help as many people as possible, to take over as many accounts as we can, to see as many different variations of accounts that need help, so that those tips that come out of the takeover can go out to other people, right? Because that's one of the great things about doing a takeover on the stream is you're not just helping that person, you're helping everybody else who watches the stream figure out that same problem. Now, maybe the solution is different for your account than it is for the takeover account, but at least it's going to give you a way to think about it. Maybe you're going to see a champion that you've never seen before. Maybe you're going to hear something about gearing that you didn't realize, so all of those little aspects of it are valuable and beneficial to hopefully the entire viewership. And so that's why we don't want to go back to accounts that we've already taken over. So I'll probably put something like a 90-day limit on it. Like after 90 days, it's almost like the account is in a completely new place. And maybe if somebody wants to come back and show the progress on their account, take over, after 90 days, maybe we'll do that. But for right now, if you've already had a takeover, then, we're just going to ask you not to, if you put your name in and you pop up, we'll probably just tell you no and we'll move on. So it's not like it's the worst thing in the world, but it's better to not put your name into the Wheel of Takeover if you've already gotten one in the last couple of weeks. So this is only our third stream, our third Tuesday, Takeover Tuesday. So how many have we've had? 6 takeovers or 5 takeovers maybe?
5 or 6, yeah, right around there.
Yeah, Alex, is the 90-day thing would be cool. Show off how your guidance helped. I would love to hear from people who've had takeovers. Like if you can take screenshots, if you can maybe, send me a screenshot with a little blurb and say, hey, this is what what happened after your takeover. This is where it helped me. Then one of the things that we could do maybe at the beginning of our Takeover Tuesdays is we could profile some of the past accounts that were taken over, and we can show how accounts have grown since then and how they've been helped and what benefit they got out of it. Also, if I've completely messed up your account, send me a screenshot of that and yell at me, and I'll post that on the stream so people can see that, sometimes you take chances and it doesn't pay off, but that's okay. That's okay. I am publicly accountable for my takeover actions. So if you want to see me get flamed by disgruntled takeover recipients, that should be part of the show as well.
Should note, none yet.
Nobody's complained yet. Only 5 takeovers so far. I'm sure we'll hit one today, probably.
Yeah, now you're due. Now you're doing.
Right. Okay. All right. So so we'll get the wheel going. You got that working, son?
Yeah, just giving people time to go ahead and get in there.
Okay.
We've got a couple of reactions, so
Yeah,
for those that want a chance, put your name in the hat.
we'll try to get the first one up here in the next 15 minutes or so. In the meantime, I got to get back into the dungeon.
Yeah, I'm running out of I've run out of food.
You're going for the skill tome on the dungeon divers? You think you could make that in 3 days? The legendary skill tome?
No, I'm going for the legendary on the champion training.
On the champion training.
Which I'm less than 800 points away from.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got that guaranteed.
Man, I'm only halfway there.
Yeah.
You've been grinding. You've been grinding hard. Okay, so I've still got 37 hours. I could make a play. I'm going to get a whole bunch of energy when I get through this mission, because when I get through this mission, I get 150 energy here. I'll get 150 energy here. Of course, I've got to use up energy to get that. And then there's 150 energy here. There's another one over here. Another one here. So there's a ton of energy in this path. And I have a lot of the missions at least partially complete or fully complete. So, but I don't have any. I have like one refillable potion left.
Yeah, I think maybe that's the thing. You use your energy on your masteries. Mine is use your gems on masteries. Mine is going to
energy.
To energy.
Yeah, I did that because one, for the content, because I wanted to get Runekeeper Dazzler like in a showcase. But the other thing is, honestly, I'm like, how else am I going to catch you? You know, I needed his power immediately. There's no way I'm going to catch you. I'm not going to catch you for like months. But, you know, you're going to get your Arbiter first. I'm not going to be too far behind you, I hope. I'm not more than 2 weeks behind you.
Yeah, I'm a little bit ahead right now. I'm on the next set.
I think the one advantage I have right now over your account, this is the only advantage I think I have over your account right now, is that I've got my speed tuned and like designed arena team. All I need is the gear. As long as I keep getting more gear, this team's going to keep getting more powerful, and it's a gold 5 team. Like, I don't have to worry about finding another champion. It's a gold 5 team. And if I happen to find an arena nuker, like, you know, a top tier arena nuker, that's just going to solidify that, and then I'm going to be golden. And eventually, the weight of that may help, because if you stall out at like gold 2 and I'm up in gold 5, then my Great Hall is going to get stronger, and then I might start catching up to you. But that's the only way I'm going to catch you. The only other way I'm going to catch you is like if I land a mythic. You know, if I land a mythic or something, then
I'm higher in arena than you right now, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, but you don't like you're higher in arena because you have progressed your account and your 60s, right? Like, so you have the 60s. Like, I still have, well, I guess for my arena team I only have 150 right now. But like, you don't have an increased attack champion.
No.
And you don't have a second turn meter fill. Well, you do actually. You have Apothecary. But yeah.
Alex asked, as a new player, what do we use our gems for? So generally speaking, you want to get your mind going. You want to get your Guardian Ring going. Before that, if you haven't already, buy your masteries for your first champion, which should be your starter. Get them to 60. And then from there, it's probably a good idea to save for things as you need them. What would you say there? Potential fusions.
So there are several things you can use your gems on.
Gems.
And I just did a video just a little while ago about gems, so you can go and watch that video too. It's going to give you more detail. But honestly, I think that one of the things I like to spend my gems on an early account is on shard packs. I buy the large shard packs, ancient shards, 11 shards for 900 gems. There's a 2 times ancient shard event that is coming up in like 12 days. 10 days. 11 days. So, you know, if you want as many ancient shards as possible for that event. So if you have, 2,000 gems, that could get you another 22 pulls. Now, in addition, if there's a champion chase going on, or a summon rush going on, or a fusion going on, or anything like that during that 2 times event, then for your gems, you're getting a lot of extra value there, because you can potentially get legendary tomes or epic tomes. You can get, extra silver energy. You can even get gems as a reward. So that's something that I consider strongly. And I would do that for the first even year of an account. I would probably spend at least 50% of my gems on ancient shard packs, the large shard packs. Other than that, the other 50% I think primarily should go into maybe your first 1 or 2 champions masteries, your gem mine, your sparring pit, and then the rest of it just goes into energy, for the most part, or occasionally maybe like an XP banner. If you run out of XP boost, you could get an XP banner. You want to buy only the 3-day XP banners. Don't buy the 1-day ones, because even the 3-day ones are expensive, but it's worth it to have coverage, and get that extra XP. Energy without an XP banner is awful. So if you don't have any energy, right? If you just have your normal day energy because you've used up all your potion refills and stuff like that, then don't buy an XP banner right then. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not going to be grinding XP, so don't waste the gems. But if you're like getting into a champion training event, or if you're getting into, a period where you're like, I've got to really push for my next 6-star, so I'm farming up food a lot, then make sure you have an XP banner, because farming food without an XP banner is awful. I usually like to have a few thousand in reserve on my main account. I don't like being under like 6,000 or 7,000 gems. And usually for a fusion, I would say you probably want somewhere in the vicinity, like if you're going for your first fusion, you probably want somewhere in the vicinity of about 2,000 to 3,000 gems. That would be a really good amount to give you the energy that you need to complete that. Later on, I don't, like now on my main account, I spend like 400 gems per fusion, maybe. So. Alex says, I have full Guardian Ring and Market and mine and did 1 mastery. There you go. So like if you wanted to spend gems on 1 more champion's worth of masteries, you could. It doesn't even have to be the next one. It could just be one. So one of the things that's nice is buying masteries in conjunction with using a barrel, because a barrel will take a level 50 all the way up to level 60 instantly. And so that means that you're skipping the grind. And if you're skipping the grind, you may as well buy the masteries. So basically, for every barrel that you get, you can buy 1 set of masteries. That's a really good way to do it. If you're going to level up a champion by grinding them up, then you should not buy that champion's masteries. It's a waste. Go ahead and grind them up in the Minotaur. You're going to save yourself gems in the long run. But if you happen to have a barrel and you want to use it and you need the power spike right away, then you can do that. So now I'm going to give you the lead here for a sec. I have to take care of something. I'll be right back.
All right. We're free again. We're free. Free of Colred's tyranny. Takes 100 days to recover the gems used to open the mine. Yeah. Well, it's, you do a little bit of investment, and then as long as you're going to be playing the game, you're going to get it back. I am in a tough spot with these food champs. I'm leveling level 1s. The sun will shine. Exactly, Shock. The party zone. The free zone.
What are you talking about?
What? Who?
The party. All I heard was the party zone, the free zone.
Party zone.
I also heard the sun will shine. The sun will shine. Well, sun, you can shine up in the corner there.
Oh.
Happy birthday, my friend. All right, that's not bad. Another 5-star piece. I think we just need one more. I kind of want to get this before I do a takeover. I just want this done so I don't have to think about it. Maybe I shouldn't. All right, so how are we doing on?
Quite a few folks ready, so.
All right, yeah, let's spin the wheel. We need to find a way to get the wheel onto the stream. I haven't figured out how to do that. Let me see.
Oh well, I can do that.
Yeah, why don't you if you can stream the wheel and then I can stream your stream, that would be a good way to do it.
Well, I could just put my Discord on my screen. See, here you go.
Well, yeah, but full screen it and get that wheel there so that we can see it.
Everybody gets to see the wheel.
You're not in streamer.
Oh. Why am I streamer mode?
All right, I can. You know what? I can probably stream it. Wheel of Takeover.
Oh, there we go. There's a 3-star chicken.
Nah, it's not working.
I need gems.
We'll figure it out. We should probably. We're professionals here. We should probably figure this out. You know, probably not while the stream is happening. We should work through this a little bit. Yeah, that's on me. That's on me. All right. So why don't you go ahead and you spin the wheel and we'll watch the ice golem get his butt kicked here.
Hey, we made a super cool new little thing for the Noob versus Pro. We're getting there.
Yeah, that's true, but that's not this stream. They don't know about that yet. We're not going to unveil that till Friday.
Yeah, they're going to have to wait. They get just the tip.
There's something wrong with Team Sun, I think. It starts at the top, works its way down.
That
starts at the top and works its way down.
It always rolls downhill.
JB Bonnell is here.
All right.
Bryce is here. Welcome, welcome.
Tip returns. Bryce was there. All right. Wicked Sick. You are our victor.
Wicked Sick. Who is Wicked Sick in the chat? In the live stream chat. Who is that? Wicked Sick? Are you there? Somebody signed up and then leave the stream right away? Or, he's like in the bathroom right now. He's like, oh, they're not gonna spin the wheel for a while. I can go to the bathroom. We don't know who this is. All right, we'll give whoever this is 5 minutes to get back, just in case. Maybe you can send them a DM, let them know they've won.
Yep, I'm talking to him right now.
Oh, okay. Thanks for filling me in.
Yeah, that just happened.
All right. So we do have Wicked Sick here with us. Let's get them in the coaching channel. Now, by the way, just so everybody knows, if you haven't heard before, so what happens is obviously y'all put your name in by reacting. You're going to react to Sun's message here in the Wheel of Takeover channel in the Discord. So if you're not currently a member of our Discord, you should join our Discord, because we're going to do another contest in probably 45 minutes. We'll do a second one. We may even get to a third one if we have enough time today. And then what happens is you got to send me your account information. If you don't have two-factor authentication already enabled, do not enable it now, because it will lock you out for a couple of hours. There's some kind of glitch with Plarium Play. However, if you want two-factor authentication, you can always enable it now, and then just hope that, if you win, we can get in. I don't know. You could try that. But yeah, you can ask our previous winners. I haven't stolen anybody's account. I haven't messed with anybody yet. Yeah. So yeah.
No, that's my job.
But yeah, so you don't need the two-factor authentication necessarily, but that's generally a good idea, so you can put it up if you want to win next week. We're going to pull you into a voice channel here. You do not have to have a microphone, and if you do have a microphone, you do not have to be on stream. It is entirely up to you. If you don't mind being on stream, then we'll let your voice be on stream. But we can also just make it so that we can communicate. If you'd rather type on your keyboard and chat that way, you can certainly do that. Have an idea about what it is that you want some help with, and also preferably have a little bit of silver available so that I can potentially rebuild some champions if I need to. And a little bit of silver would be like 5 million would be nice. 5 million would be nice. If you don't have 5 million, I mean, we did a takeover last week, I think, with like 500,000, and it worked. But that was stressful. I'll be honest. I was like, I wasn't sure that was going to work, and it did. So that was good. But okay.
All right, I'm gonna pop off my stream then, and
okay.
There we go.
All right. So do we have any information here?
Yeah, I spoke to Wicked, kind of gave him the info there as well, and told him to message you directly with account info.
All right. So let's just wait for this this fight to finish, and then we will jump into Wicked's account. All right. If you, in the meantime, you can chat with me anything that you're looking to examine on your account, anywhere you're stuck, anywhere you'd like some advice or help. Clan boss, he says, all I need is clan boss. Okay, we will take a look at clan boss. I'll be honest, clan boss is in some ways it's the most challenging takeover, right? Especially because it can require a lot of steps. It can require a speed tune. It can require building other champions, remastering, all sorts of stuff. So when it comes to clan boss, I'll take a look and we'll see if we can't figure out a team for you. And then, you know, if we can, or if we can get you moving in the right direction, that'll probably be the best thing that we can do for you. I'm not sure that I'd want to rebuild too much unless you had just a ton of resources, and then we could actually do a speed tune live. Okay. Yeah. By the way, it might be a good idea for you, Wicked, to mute the stream so you don't have me echoing in your ear. Yeah, he says, all I need is a couple of ideas. I can make them afterwards. There we go. Hey, we pulled that out, and I think we completed our mission. We did. That's awesome. All right.
Oh, you got it. You lucky dog.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. Let's see here. All right, so I'm going to...
Yeah, that mission was a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a lot better at stage 15 than I would have expected it to be at 13. All right, so we're going to get into a new... Let's see. Let me get the info. Uh-oh. That password is not working for me. Let me try again. That is not the correct password. At least it's telling me it's not the correct password. I've tried it 3 times just to make sure. And I was using copy paste, so I don't think cap locks matters, but I can check my caps lock. I do not have caps lock on, so shouldn't be that. Could it be a different password?
I know that struggle. One too many passwords.
Yeah. Okay. He's checking. Happens to all of us. Especially when you have multiple raid accounts, right? Yeah, I've definitely... I have 5 League of Legends accounts.
Yeah.
So I haven't used the 5th one in a really, really long time. But trying to remember 4 passwords was tricky. And then at some point I realized, you know what? I did this with Raid. Unlike my 13th account, I decided to make my 13th password the same as my 12th. And I was like, why does it matter? I don't need a new password. I can have the same password on both accounts. I'm like, oh God, that alleviates so much hassle. I'm like, yeah, so now I've got like 4 different accounts with the same password.
Must be nice. I use a different password for everything, but they're always... They have some sort of variation, so then it just turns into which one of these 25
exactly.
variations that I'll remember, but are different. Which one is it?
Okay, that was the correct password. So we were really close. Let's go ahead and sign in. Yeah, when you do that, when you have variations on the same one, I did that for a while too. And it's like I have to remember what year I signed up to a particular website or account or whatever, because I knew, like, I would do it based on the year, you know. So every year I was changing my password and having a new one. And it's like, okay, now I got to remember the variations from every year. And then after like 9 years of doing that, I'm like, that's too much. That's too much. All right. So Wicked the Lucky here. Level 44 account.
Lucky one.
Okay. Level 44 account. Let's go ahead and check out your roster. Whoa. Mezumel Luperfang. This is our first.
Oh, wow.
This is our first mythic on our stream. All right, I gotta check this. I gotta check this champion out. I know you were hoping for some clan boss help, but I think we might have just gotten derailed a little bit. We're gonna be talking about Mezumel Luperfang here. Now, the downside of this, right, is getting the books for her. Like, it's impossible to get books for her. But let's go ahead and see what she does. So decreased defense on the A1. That's very nice. A2. Wait, what's the chance on that? It's just places. It's 100% chance. Okay, great. Double hitter will ignore stone, skin, strengthen, ally protection, and shield. Places a block revive if the target is killed. My guess is this hits hard, because otherwise, what's the point? She is an attack-based champion. Okay, A3 places an increased attack buff, increased crit rate, and increased crit damage on this champion for 3 turns. Grants an extra turn. So this is a lot like Genbo's skill, right? Genbo's doesn't include the increased attack. It's just the increased crit rate and crit damage and the extra turn. And this is up for 3 on a 4-turn cooldown. But of course, you get the extra turn, so it's really up for 2 on a 3-turn cooldown. And then transforms the champion. Okay, and then what's the passive here? Heals the champion by 20% of the damage inflicted. Places a revive on death buff on this champion for 2 turns every time they kill an enemy. Oof. That's good just by itself. I think I saw a video title. I didn't watch the video, but that this is the best mythical. People are saying, you know, they're ranking the mythicals, that this is the best one. So let's go ahead and look at this. AoE on the A1. That's very nice. Still an attack-based champion. This attack will not trigger counterattacks. That's nice. Places an extra hit on enemies under True Fear debuffs. My guess is she's going to bring a True Fear debuff. Yeah, here it is. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Places a True Fear debuff for 2 turns. This attack will not trigger counterattacks. Will also ignore unkillable and block damage. That's the transform. And then the passive increases this champion's attack and crit damage by 20% while in their alternate form. Okay, so this just hits harder here. That's a great damage dealer. But really, looking at it, not a clan boss damage dealer. Not necessarily. I mean, if she hits really hard, she could be your hardest hitting champion. So obviously you'd put her in your clan boss team. But in the long run, right, this is a wave clearing champion. So, or not even. This is a single target assassin here in this form, and then in this form, it is a wave clear champion. Right? Could be a great arena champion. Really cool arena champion. Very cool looking. That was fun. That was fun just to see that. All right. So Wicked says, you can do what you wish. All right. Good to know. Good to know. So you do have Deacon, and you have your Deacon at 6 stars, level 50, but not ascended. Do you have pots for ascensions? Not enough. And today is the Force Affinity keep. I think the Force Potion keep. Right? We just saw that earlier. So on Thursday, get yourself in the Spirit keep. All right? You need Deacon at 3-star ascended. This is incredibly important. For anybody who has Deacon, this is really, really important. If you look at, so almost every champion has like an ascended skill. Like one of their skills will be improved when you hit 3-star ascension. For Deacon, he gets an extra turn. So you get the exact same skill, fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%, decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 15%, but it grants an extra turn. That entirely changes the way that you use Deacon Armstrong. Because what that means is in the arena or in any wave content or in any content at all, you can open with this and then instantly go into your drop defense. So you don't have to choose one or the other. You can get both on the same go. So obviously it counts as 2 turns, but it's basically the same turn, right? It also reduces the cooldown of everything basically by 1. So now instead of this being a 3-turn cooldown and this being a 3-turn cooldown, they're basically both on 2-turn cooldowns, which is insane. So you get more turn meter fill, you get more uptime on the debuffs, and he's just so much stronger once you get this. So this is going to be a focus. In fact, if the spirit keep were open, I would be grinding it right now. I'd be using all your energy right there. You have 1900 energy, so I wouldn't be afraid to use your energy. Okay, so now let's look for what else. Oh, you've got Jorg. All right, and you've built him out to 5 stars. This is a good call. This potentially is not a great call. You've leveled up Athel to 5 stars. Not because she isn't good, but because having 2 starter champions is not as valuable as you might think it is for a long time. Now, she might be your only weakened champion. I don't know. So maybe that's why you brought her in here. Does Kellen have a weaken? He does. He has a weaken. So you don't even need her for the weaken. You did Athel for food. Gotcha. And you're just leveling her up for the champion training. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, having her for faction crypts is great. I'm not saying she's a bad champion, and it's not that you're going to get no value out of her, but you are kind of hitting the same area multiple times when you have 2 starter champions. So right now, just looking, let's look at all your champions here. The ones that you've got here. You've got a Fellhound. That's a great champion. He can be your campaign farmer. You've got a Skull Crusher. So you're in good shape there. You've actually got an Elhain. That's great too. Painkeeper. All right, let's get in your vaults. Let's see what you got in your vaults. You got Apothecary. You've got Apothecary.
Pull him out. Take him up. He's awesome.
He is. All right, so I'm not just thinking about clan boss right now. Like, we're going to talk about clan boss. But what we really want to do, because you're level 44, right? The goal isn't just to improve at clan boss. The goal is to take any 6-star that you get. You want to be able to use either in multiple places so that you can get a lot of help in a lot of areas. So you want dungeon improvement, you want Doom Tower improvement, you want arena improvement, you want clan boss improvement, you want faction crypt improvement. You want improvement in as many places as you can with each 6-star. Or you want a 6-star to just destroy one of those places, right? So for instance, Sun pulled a Fane, right? It's like, okay, you think of Fane as a clan boss champion, and she really is. And so she's just going to crush that for forever. She will be his Ultra Nightmare clan boss, like damage dealer and debuffer. So she'll never go away. She'll never stop having value. But simultaneously, in the early game, she's his dungeon boss killer, right? So she helps in faction crypts. She helps in Doom Tower, killing bosses in Doom Tower. She helps in every dungeon, killing those bosses there. And then she's also a clan boss damage dealer. Right now, you even have her in arena, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. She's everywhere.
Yeah, so she's everywhere right now. And that's what you want out of your 6-stars, right? So when I look at this, I'm like, okay, Artak is one of those champions. You build him, you can put him everywhere. You can put him in every dungeon. He's going to do great for Spider. He is your Spider boss solution for level 20 and above. So he's going to help you get to 20, and then he's going to help you keep going. So Artak is huge. Get Artak to 6 stars. You can also put him in clan boss. Why not? HP burns do well in clan boss. He's not a perfect clan boss damage dealer, but he's a very good one. He's going to be tanky. He's going to survive for a long time. You're going to get him going. Now, right now, you've got 2 broken sets here with your Divine Life. So I would pull him out of that, get him as fast as you possibly can, right? Get him to 6 stars. He is literally your everywhere carry. So I would say he should be your next 6-star champion. There's nobody else on your roster that's even close to the versatile powerhouse that this guy is, other than Mezamel Luberfang, and I don't know her. I can't advise you on her, and you already have her at 60. But there is nobody else that's going to do the work that he's going to do in terms of helping you just clear everywhere. Wicked says, I'm typing on a text doc. What you have to do. Yeah. So you need all of your 6 stars, 3-star ascended. So you need Deacon 3-star ascended. You're going to want to get Mezimel 3-star ascended. You're going to want to get Artak 3-star ascended. Likewise, any 50s that you're using, you want them 3-star ascended. Now, Old Hermit Jorg is a great champion for you, and it's because he's got this A2. Places an increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns and fills the turn meters of all allies by 20%. He also has a revive, and it's a 2 random ally revive. It's a pretty good revive. It is on a 5-turn cooldown. This guy goes in your arena team. He is preferably your fastest or your second fastest champion. Now, his base speed here is 97. Let's go see if it gets faster. I think he gets faster. He's in Orcs, but maybe not. Yeah, so he's actually got a base speed of 104. So when you get him to 6 stars, he will go from 97 base speed to 104 base speed. You can see he's decently tanky. He's not super tanky. He's got some attack, but he also has HP burn on his A1. So you can put him in your clan boss team as well, right? Let's get more HP burns out there, more HP burns for Artak to set off. But in the meantime, this guy's going to help you a ton in arena, right? He's also going to help you in the Orcs faction script. He's also going to help you in every dungeon. Turn meter fill and increase attack will help you everywhere. Now, the one thing you want to be aware of here is that Jorg and Artak don't work perfectly together. They're not as synergistic as you might like, because Artak does his damage based on HP, so an increased attack doesn't help him that much, okay? But remember, you're going to be in your arena team. He's going to be primarily your wave clearer. You can put him in a stun set. You can put him in a regen set. You can put him in perception sets. You can build him almost any way you want, depending on how you're going to use him. All right, now let's talk about another champion, Skull Crusher. This is a counterattack champion who has ally protection. Ally protection is important for keeping your clan boss team alive. Okay, and counterattack lets you do more damage because you land more A1s. So, right now, I don't know that you have a perfect clan boss solution. I think Painkeeper in the long run might be helpful there, especially if you're going for like a Man-Eater Painkeeper combo unkillable team. But you would need Man-Eater at that point. But in terms of just increasing your damage, I think right now that Mezimel Luperfang is probably going to be in your team. Obviously, Kale's going to be in your team. Those are your 2 damage dealers. You have Deacon Armstrong. As soon as you get him ascended to 3 stars, he's going to give you more turns and get you moving faster. He's also got this leech. So you need to make sure that you have enough accuracy to land that leech. You also need enough accuracy to land this decreased defense. So you've got those 3. And then I would consider probably Old Hermit Jorg and Skull Crusher as your next 2. Right, so your team could be these 5. Now, Old Hermit Jorg and Deacon Armstrong will keep you moving fast, let you hit hard with the decreased defense and the increased attack. And then everybody here is, your 2 damage dealers are attack-based damage dealers. So that's going to be fine. They're going to be the tankiest damage dealers you have. So they're going to last the longest time. Get your masteries done. Jorg is on the list to 6. Yeah. So get your masteries done here. Make sure you get your War Master on everybody who's going to be in your clan boss team. That includes your supports. So you need to get Deacon down here as well. That means grinding Minotaur, which is going to be fine because you still have some levels you need to get. That's fine. Like, don't worry about that. Just go ahead and spend 5,000, the next 5,000 energy in Minotaur. Like, that's fine. It's totally great. So, yeah. Then you're going to bring Artak along. Now, at that point, potentially Artak could step in for Mezimel. I don't know. I mean, right now you have her in Helm Smasher, which is not a clan boss damage dealing ability. The 2 clan boss damage dealer masteries are War Master and Giant Slayer. I know I'm probably blocking some of the screen here. But yeah. So the Helm Smasher is more of an arena-based nuker type ability, and that's fine. If that's where you want her, That's great. Keep her in Helm Smasher. Don't change that. That's fine. But you can transition her out of your clan boss team and put Artak in there instead. And then you'll get him going. So I think, realistically, based on what you've got right now, the next 3 stars should be Artak, Jorg, and Skull Crusher. And, you could run up Kellen. Kellen's got a weaken AoE, decreasing target's turn meter, 2-hitter, places decreased speed. This is a great Fire Knight champion. So you could get a lot of value out of him as well. And if you're looking for a Fire Knight solution, you pair him with Jorg and Deacon and, and Kale, and you're almost all the way there. Put either, you could probably put Skull Crusher back on that team as well. You won't use, you don't have turn meter control there. So you're going to get hit. Skull Crusher will have the counterattack. You'll break the shield immediately and go and kill the boss. So that's a way to do it. Right now, what you lack is a good healer. So somebody to consider is pulling Apothecary out of the vault and get Apothecary going when you can. I would probably prioritize Apothecary over Kellen. But I would say Artak, Jorg, and Skull Crusher are the next 3, and then maybe Apothecary, and then maybe Kellen after that. Depends what you pull over the next few weeks, because obviously it's going to take you a while to get that many 6 stars. But let's take a look at your clan boss team. Oh, don't have any keys. Wicked the Lucky. All right, you're pulling down 3.93 million on 2 keys in hard. And that gets you that first warrior chest. Now, here's something to pay attention to, and this is important for everybody. You may not know this. The names on these clan boss chests are important because the same name means the same chest. Okay, so you notice you're getting the warrior chest. In order to get to the knight chest, let me actually do this. Sorry. All right, in order to get to the knight chest, you actually have to get over 7.7 million, right? Now, if you go down to normal, look here, the top chest here is the knight chest. You only need 3.64 million for this one on an easier boss. So what you're doing right now in hard, in normal, in hard, right? The knight chest. You're getting a lesser chest. You're getting the warrior chest instead of the knight chest. So don't go into this clan boss. Get the best chest that you can, right? And they go in order. So if you actually look at easy, you can get a warrior chest here. Get the top chest here. This is a warrior chest, which is the same chest in hard that is the first 2 chests. And it's harder to get them here against a harder boss. So go and get your top warrior chest in easy, then go into normal and get your knight chest from normal, and then worry about hard. And if you can't get to this guardian chest, there's no point in being here, because you can get the same exact chests from the easier clan bosses for less effort, right? So the names on the chests matter. And when you get to hard and you're starting to do those and you look at brutal and you're like, okay, so there's a knight chest in brutal, right? So unless I'm getting to the master chest, I'm not actually getting a new chest, because guardian exists in hard. Guardian is the top chest in hard. So you need to get to the 3rd chest of brutal before you're getting an advantage over the hard clan boss. So don't just rush to get to the highest clan boss you can. Always get the best chest that you can for the easiest work. And it doesn't matter to get a top chest until you actually get to Nightmare. So Nightmare Ultimate, this is the first chest where Sacred Shards drop. So unless you can clear the top chest of Nightmare, you always want to go for the highest named chest that you can with the easiest effort. All right, and that's something that I think a lot of people don't notice. They just think, oh, there are 4 chests, each one is better than the last. That's not true. Look at hard. The first 2 chests are warrior chests. They're the exact same chest. And you don't get 2 of them. You just get a warrior chest here and you get a warrior chest here. So you don't need to get this second chest. There's literally no value in it. No value whatsoever in getting the second warrior chest. It's the same as the first one. Okay, but let's go ahead and look at your team for a second. All right. It's an okay team. It's not a bad team. But I think right away, you'll probably get value out of taking... So Miscreated Monster does have an ally protect and a shield. So that's not a bad champion to have in there. That extends the life of your team a little bit. But I think you could pull Rhonda and put either Artak in or Old Hermit Jorg and probably get more value out of either one of those. Because Old Hermit Jorg will give you an increased attack, which will increase the damage of Kale and Mezimel, and give you more turn meter fill so you get back around to your skills more frequently. And that will probably by itself increase the damage over Rhonda. Plus, he's got a chance to land an HP burn. So if he has any accuracy at all and he can land an HP burn, that's going to be a ton of damage. And that's helpful. So that would probably be the first swap I would make. And then we start looking for those other swaps that we were talking about. You got a red dot, so I'm buying a shard. I can't help myself. I don't even think about it. It's just like, it's a compulsion. I have to do it. Now let's look at some of your builds. All right. Yeah, we need to get in here. We need to get into Spider a little bit. You have some blood shield rings, which is nice. I don't know, who they're potentially going to go on. You could put the blood shield ring on, one of these guys. Banner Lords. You got a blood shield ring. You could put that on. Oh, Rhonda's not even built. She's got 2 missing spots. You must have pulled gear from her for something. Old Hermit Jorg should not be in a lifesteal set. You want to get him in a very tanky set with as much speed as possible. So think speed sets, maybe perception sets, go defensive percentage on the chess piece. You might look at a champion like this. When you look at his skills, you see, and so this is true for most supports. Damage based on attack. So you might think, hey, I want to put attack on this guy. He does damage based on attack. But you don't. He's not a damage dealer. His purpose in your team is not to deal damage. His purpose in your team is to enable the other champions to do damage. And if he's going to do damage on a clan boss, it's going to be with his HP burn, which requires accuracy, and attack doesn't affect the damage of HP burn. So what I would say here is, you got to start looking at the builds and moving pieces around. So I'm just going to look at your Deacon here, and we're going to make your Deacon better. Because right now, he's driving me nuts. Let's go look at some speed boots. Okay, let's see. Let me get my... I never know where to be on this screen, so I'm going to be right in the middle. All right, so the first thing we need to do is Deacon is your engine. He makes your team go. He needs speed boots, and he needs as much speed as you can reasonably get on him. And then he's your debuffer, so he needs accuracy. The best set in the entire game for him is perception. Let's actually go look. Do you have any ability to forge perception? Limited. We could get a few pieces of 3 or 4 star gear. Okay, so you need to get into faction crypts and start getting your perception gear for your Deacon. It's incredibly important. But let's take a look at what he's got. So we're going to go to primary stats, speed. We're going to look at the boots that we have. Okay, so you do have a 4-star set or 4-star speed boots in the shield set. That's a potential chance. Let me go ahead and equip. Look at equipped items. If there are any we can steal from anybody else. Chinoru has perception boots. Wow, you've got some nice perception boots here on Wukong. He needs those too. I'm not gonna take them off of Wukong. But Chinoru doesn't necessarily. She's not super important. We can take a look at her. She's right here. She is a 5-star. She's got some speed on her. You've got a 3-hitter with a weak in there. Yeah, so this is a champion I would probably not worry too much about in terms of gear right away. So I'm probably gonna strip those boots off of her. Filter, let's go back to speed boots, equipped. Now I'm gonna get into the fitting room here so I can kind of try on a build. Let's see what happens if we get these boots on him. All right, now let's get away from the primary stats. Let's go look at the substats. We want anything with speed. This is a perfect piece. Look at this piece. This is a beautiful piece, right? For Deacon. Accuracy, yes. Speed, yes. Resistance, awesome, right? This is exactly what you want on this guy. So we're going to roll this one up. We've got a few million silver here. We're hoping for speed rolls, but accuracy would also be good. 2 accuracy. Let's do it again. That's a beautiful piece. That is amazing. Okay. This is not a bad piece either. Let's look at this. That would be good on a damage dealer. Not great. You'd rather have crit rate, but it's, you know, early game still. All right, let's go look at perception pieces. Let's see if we can find some perception pieces that are worthwhile. This is not bad. I know it's only flat HP, but he just needs to be tanky. This is a very good piece here. And this could potentially replace this speed piece, which didn't have any speed substats on it. Speed, resist, and accuracy. This is a beautiful piece for Deacon Armstrong. Let's roll that up to 12. Landed in accuracy. That is a gorgeous piece. Okay. Let's look at the instinct. HP. This is a 4... I'm sorry, that's a 4-piece set. I was thinking righteous. Let's look at righteous. Okay, so we're not going to be swapping out either of those. This is still a good piece, but these are better. So now, realistically, we could look at this. We can look at these gloves. We could get 2 more perception. We could get another perception set on him. We got to think about the speed piece. If there's another speed piece we could get on him. So let's go ahead and close. The only sets I care about right now are speed and perception. So if we swap out that shield, the only piece we could potentially move in would be this gauntlet. So it seems like we'll leave that shield alone for right now. And then we're looking at gloves and a chest piece. Defensive chest piece with speed and accuracy and HP. This is literally perfect. That is perfect for him. Make him tanky, make him fast, make him accurate. Man, this is great. This feels great. I love it. I feel like I'm helping. All right. Let's get this guy going. Accuracy. Let's get a speed roll. Come on. Let's get a speed roll. HP. Okay. I'm not going to take it up to 16. I'll just take it up to 12. We'll put that on. And then we got to use this glove now. So let's hope we roll into speed. Come on. Let's get a speed roll. At least 1. I don't mind HP. Let's roll into speed, though. Come on. Come on. Give me 1 speed roll. 3 HP roll. Well, he'll be tanky. He'll be tanky. Okay, so you can... I'm turned around. You can look over there. Look at the stat changes, right? So what we're looking at right now is we're losing about 6,000 HP. And you're like, oh, well, that's not good. And we're losing a little bit of defense. We're losing, what, 14 defense. That's okay. Remember that you still have more defense that you can roll on here. You can get more HP. You can roll there. You can also get HP from your helmet. You can also get, we should roll these up as well. Let's roll these up to 12 at least. Okay. All right. So a little bit squishier, right? A little bit more attack doesn't really matter. Tiny bit of less defense doesn't really matter. Look how much speed we're picking up here. 57 speed. This is fast enough to start getting you into like Silver 4 arena, right? This will get you up to that. So this will be your speed lead. That'll help you. You're going to be going so much faster. Your whole team's going to be going faster. Look at the accuracy. We gained 128 accuracy. Now, 175 is just a bare minimum for where you need to be. But if you 6-star him, you can get an accuracy banner, and that's going to get you an extra, 70 to 90 accuracy. So that's going to get you over the 250 mark. You can also go ahead and put any accuracy glyphs you have on any of the pieces that have accuracy here. This would be a really good one to glyph out. This would be a really good one to glyph out. You know, preferably you want to glyph 5-star pieces, not 4-star pieces. But you could get this accuracy to 250. That's going to be enough for dungeons all the way up to stage 20. Right? In order, the accuracy you need at stage 20, I think, is 240, something like that, 225. So if you can get, you know, to 240, 250, you are good forever. You're good for clan boss up through brutal. No problem. So I'm going to equip this. Now, Chinara lost her boots, so let's go put some boots on her, maybe. I'll let you figure that out. All right, so huge, massive improvement on Deacon. Get him 3 stars. You're going to get that extra turn. This is the engine that makes your team go. Okay. Now, Kale's fine. I mean, you're close to 100% crit rate. You can't glyph crit rate, unfortunately. And now Deacon is faster than Kale, which is what you want. You want your debuffer to be going ahead of your damage dealer, right? Is Deacon faster than Sun Wukong? 171? Yes. He's the exact same speed. Okay. So they're the exact same speed. So just to make sure, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put maybe a speed glyph here. Let's go ahead and glyph this once. In fact, let's glyph the accuracy and the attack and the HP. We'll do all the glyphs. It's a CVC. You get points for them. This is why I love 1-star glyphs. Right? Okay, so now he's going at 172. So he's going to be your first champion to go. Why does that matter? Well, because when Wukong goes, he deals damage. Now he's going to deal more damage because the decreased defense is going to be on the enemy team, right? And then Kale will be doing more damage because the decreased defense is on the enemy team. And once you get Old Hermit Jorg up, remember that you want Old Hermit Jorg going the second fastest. So he should go either the first fastest or the second fastest. He should either go before Deacon or right after Deacon. And again, when you 6-star him, he's going to get 7 or 8 additional speed. And so he's going to get faster naturally. But again, speed boots, right? You don't need him in lifesteal. You want him in tanky stuff. A really good set for him. He doesn't need a ton of accuracy because, to land the HP burn would be nice. So a little bit of accuracy wouldn't hurt. But basically what you need is defense. So the best set for him, probably that you're going to have access to early on, is resilience. So think about speed. Think about, divine speed. That's not bad. Think about resilience. And again, get into the forge, get into faction crypts, get your forge materials, get into your forge, and build up your resilience set and get as much speed on this guy as you can. So if you need speed sets, you go speed and you go resilience. That's probably where you're going to be. It might be 3 speed sets. That's fine. But again, think about the stats. You want a defensive percentage chest piece or an HP percentage chest piece. You do not care about his attack. You don't need damage from this guy. He will enable everybody else to do more damage. Let's look at your forge again. Can you forge any resilience pieces? Yeah, all right. We're going to forge some resilience pieces here. Let's go ahead and go with the rank charms. We don't really care what pieces they are. And you have no speed charms. It looks like you've used those up. So we're going to let those alone. We're just going to go ahead and forge these 2 pieces. 50 points, that's a good sign. 6-star speed boots. That's awesome. Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better.
Wow.
Yeah, that was perfect. That was literally, 200 points. Come on. All right. It is a legendary 5 stars. Not bad. It's got accuracy, defense percentage, HP percentage, but no speed here, which you need. So, but that's still really good. Let's go ahead and we're going to do 10 of these as well. We're just going to pull 10 of these. See if we can get something that's got. Wow. We hit all epics and legendaries. We didn't miss on one. I've never seen that. I've never seen a 10 pull of crafted items not have a rare. I've never seen it. That's insanity. That is crazy. This is like I want to take a screenshot of this. How the hell did this happen? I've never seen this. That was the sickest. I wish it was perception gear, but that was the sickest 10 pull of forge gear I've ever seen in my life. All right, let's look. Let's look at the pieces. I'm not going to throw any pieces out because, all right, crit rate with crit damage and accuracy. This could go on a damage dealer. Maybe an HP based damage dealer, maybe a defensive based damage dealer. That wouldn't be bad. It's only 4 stars, but that's okay. Resistance, no. Accuracy, crit rate. Let's get one more piece that has a speed substat. Come on, give me something. All right, defensive gloves with speed and resist. Not bad. Not bad. So let's get Jorg going in the right direction right now. That was still sick. I mean, the pieces weren't phenomenal, but I've never seen that before. That was crazy. All right, so let's...
We were just talking about winning the lottery with the mythical.
Right, exactly.
And he's just hitting back to back.
That was insane. All right, so let's go ahead and look for speed boots here. Another thing you could do, by the way, is you could put one of your supports in this shield set. Let's just take a quick look at this shield set. See if I don't want to do that to Jorg, I don't think, but you can do that with somebody. Let's see if your shield pieces are any good. Where are they? Yeah. That's not a bad piece. Yeah, you don't really have a good shield set yet. That's okay. How did I do that? Fitting room equipped. Let's go ahead and we're looking here for resilience. All right, so let's try those. Let's upgrade those to... Actually, let's just upgrade those straight to 12. Really nice boots. All right. Now let's go substats. Let's roll these up to 8. Maybe see if we get a speed roll. We didn't get a speed roll. Now let's look at the speed set. Yeah, we're still stuck with this. So, all right. And then what's the other speed set that you've got going on? You got Righteous. Speed, HP. That's really good. Come on, Speed. All right, there we go. That's not too bad. This is a resist of 40, which is not bad on him. Having resist on your supports is generally a good thing. All right, and now let's find him some pieces here. In the same set, we want a 2-piece set. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. That's not bad. Retaliation. No. You need a defensive chess piece here. But there really isn't anything. And so we'll just leave the broken set for now. But let's go ahead and equip this. Actually, let me see your pieces. What are the pieces that we've got underneath? Yeah, those boots can be... They're speed boots, but still. I'll let you hold on to them just because... But these are... Yeah. Those aren't great. I know they're 6-star and they're attack percentage, but in this spot you want crit rate or crit damage. So let's just do that one more time. So we were doing this piece, and this piece, right? That one. That was Righteous. All right, so we'll make this swap. Right away, you'll notice he's gotten more HP, so he's a little bit tankier there. He's gotten more defense, so he's a little bit tankier there, and those work together. You drop the attack because you don't care. You don't need it. You're already at 157 speed. This boot, by the way, can go up to 45, so you can pick up 16 more speed. That's going to get you to 173, right? So if you can find 2 speed pieces and put them where the current lifesteal is, you will get him close to, 190-ish, and that's going to make him your fastest champion. He's going to be faster than Deacon. He's going to be faster than everybody. That's where you want him. Why? He's your increased attack champion. He's a turn meter filler. Have him be your fastest champion. Then you've got Deacon in the second spot. You've got Wukong in the third spot. You've got Kayla in the fourth spot. Perfectly speed-tuned team. You're going to crush Arena with that team. And you can use it as the core for your clan boss team. You can use it as a core for your dungeon team. Probably not clan boss. We already talked about clan boss. You're probably going to go a different route. But he is going to get into your clan boss team eventually. So, you're going to have those HP burns on him. Now, the one thing that you're missing right now is accuracy. So again, when you get him to 6 stars, try to get accuracy on your amulet. Try to get accuracy on your banner. And if you can get some accuracy substats, get some accuracy substats anywhere that you can get them. On the chest piece, on the shield, whatever it happens to be. But yeah, this guy is going to be really good for you. All right, let me see. You need a lot of gear. Just made like 20 to 30 perception items. That's great. Okay. You think Mezimel hits better than Kale? Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So Mezimel will be your arena champion, right? You won't have Kale, so it'll go in that order. It'll go Jorg into Deacon, into Wukong, into Mezimel. He says, if you wish to play with Mezimel, go take her for a ride. Let's go do that. Let's go check that out. Let's go into the arena and mess around with Mezimel here. Let's see what we can do. Let's take this team on. See if we can't get this team. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move Jorg in. And let's see if that... First of all, I don't know if that... It's not speed-tuned yet. He's slower... But is he faster than Mezimel? Let's go just check Mezimel's speed. No, she's at 192. She's very fast. So she's faster than everybody. And what's Jorg at? 157. Yeah, she's too fast. I mean, she's not too fast. She's great. You want everybody else to be faster. All right, so... Now, I'm just going to leave him in. Let's try this. Okay. I'm going to transform her. I don't know if we're going to get a turn. This is going to be funny. Okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to true fear everybody. There we go. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and debuff. Then we're going to get our Deacon to go. Then we're going to get our Jorg to go. Ah, we didn't get back around. We're almost there. We almost had a second turn. If Deacon had his 3-star ascension, he drops defense there, and we nuke those champions out. You need a buff on the base form, then you transform. Gotcha. Oh. Okay. Let me try that again. Maybe we'll try this team here. So buff on the base form. All right. You get the extra turn. Gotcha. So buff there, then you transform, and then you use this. That's... I gotta admit, that's freaking cool. Yeah. So you almost don't need anybody else. But now imagine for a second that you have Jorg in front, you have Deacon in front, right? Deacon's getting that drop defense out there. Now, it looks like for her, if she's going to be your arena nuker, you don't need Jorg in that spot, right? So now you can just speed tune him for like dungeons and stuff like that, because she's going to buff herself. But Jorg would buff anybody else. So buff your Kale, buff your, other damage dealers. So yeah, it might be less important to bring Jorg along then. On base form, you have the block revive. That's true. You're right. I didn't think about that. So we could do this. Get back in here. Same fight. All right, so self buff. And then base form, block revive. So we could try nuking out the monkey right here. Okay, so we didn't get that. Oh, that Wukong. Okay. So yeah. All right. Sorry, losing you some battles there. But yeah, so I mean, you can keep Jorg in there for the turn meter fill because the turn meter fill is really nice. But if you look, let's see at the champions. So the way I would speed tune this, if I were going to speed tune this, you always want to look at the amount fill. Okay, because you want the biggest fill first, right? So this is 20%. So that's a big fill. Now Deacon has a 15% fill. Now Deacon also has a 15% turn meter reduction. But if that doesn't land, he only has a 15% fill. So having Jorg in front actually alleviates Deacon's need for speed a little bit, right? If you go in the reverse order, Deacon doesn't alleviate Jorg's need for speed as much. So generally, you want your biggest fill going first. And you also want your increased attack going first because Deacon does damage based on his attack stat. Both of his abilities which damage do it based on attack stat. So having the increased attack buff on him actually means that his A2 will hit harder. So get Jorg fast, get Deacon fast, get Wukong. You know, Wukong's fine where he is. And then, you know, if you can get them ahead, if you can get everybody ahead of your damage dealer, then you're going to have all the debuffs out there when the damage dealer goes. But Mezimel looks awesome. What does she get when you ascend her? Does she get anything? It doesn't look like she gets anything other than stat. Oh no, she gets an aura. She'll get an aura. But okay, so yeah, so ascending her is just stats, which is fine. But, all right, I think we've taken up enough time here. It looks like you have some cool champions. Obviously, you have the Mezimel, so that's awesome. It looks like she's going to be your arena nuker. She could also help you in wave content. If you're going to use her in wave content, you might want to consider getting her in a lifesteal set or get her in a savage set and just deal as much damage as possible. And then just speed tune the rest of your teams. And for clan boss, like I said, you can look for some HP burns. You could bring Artak in there. He's definitely going to be great in wave content for you. And then, you'll progress up. But remember, get the chests that are named to the highest thing. Don't just go for the hardest boss that you can hit. Any questions before we call it a takeover? Awesome. Wicked says, thanks a lot. You opened my eyes. Now I know what direction I have to go. Good. I'm glad I could help. Have fun with that mythic. That's going to be a fantastic time. She's sick. That's the first one I played with, and she's very powerful. So, all right, I'm going to jump into chat for a minute here, and son, we're going to pull our next contestant.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. We're probably only going to do 2 takeovers today because it's closing in on 4 o'clock.
Well, we started later today then.
Oh, you're right. We're going to 5. We're going to 5. Right.
Yeah.
Kenyatta Bundage says, is it too late to enter my account in Takeover? No. So right now, everybody, if you want to take over, you need to join the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord already, there is a little bit of delay in terms of chatting. So join the Discord community, go to the Wheel of Takeover, and just react to Sun's message, and that will enter you in the drawing. And we will then do that in like 5 minutes. And we'll draw. Do. Yeah. Well, I can stop being small now. I think I can be normal size again. I forget to move my camera around sometimes, so I was just in the middle of those arena fights. Sorry about that. But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
Alex says, what the hell? You always get really good rolls. You got some crazy rolls last week too. I don't get great rolls. honestly, I get horrible rolls. But what I do like is when I'm rolling for somebody else, apparently it's not my luck that matters, it's theirs. So sometimes we get pretty good rolls. Those rolls were average. Those rolls on that gear were average. We did get a really nice item from the forge, but we didn't hit as many speed rolls as I would have liked. Yeah.
Well, except for that one wave of all epics and legendaries.
That was insane. That was insane. But if you think about it, okay, I have probably pulled a 10 pull of gear. I've done at least 1 million pieces of gear in the forge. I've probably done at least is that right? Could that be right? So there's 10,000 silver and each piece is 5 silver. So you're talking about 2,000 pieces. And how many times have I filled that up? Yeah, it can't be 1 million. That wouldn't make sense. Yeah, but then 100,000. So I've probably done about 100,000 pieces of gear. You know, like across all my accounts, not just on one account. Across of every, 13 different accounts, I've done probably 100,000 pieces from there. And I've never seen a temple that didn't hit at least one rare. That's insane.
Kevin, you could just go ahead and react to the same one. If you've already reacted, then you're still entered and all set.
Relax, assassin. 10 minutes to react. Okay, MK1 is friggin' amazing. The only thing that's lacking is not any. What is MK1?
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 1, the new one. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a full playthrough on it, and it looked amazing. Now, no spoilers, but when you get to the end, it's I don't know how it stands up as well, but we'll see.
I'm never sure how to pronounce your name, if it's Belyankinen, if it's Billion, Kanan. I don't know, but I could call you Bill, I guess. Could be Billy. Billion. Okay. Let's see what people have been reacting. I'm going to go back and read chat. Did you pull the wheel yet?
Nope, but we can.
Yeah, let's pull the wheel. Ruba S. Hi. Hello. Cooking is here. David is here. Welcome. Sabik is here. I imagine part of what makes her good is both her kits are fairly consistent on set requirements, unlike some of Could be. I don't know. I haven't really paid any attention to the Mythic champions. I kind of looked them all over when they launched, and I was like, these are champions I will never own and don't want to focus on.
All right, the wheel has been spun, and the winner is Mince. Mince, if you're still here, you are the chosen one.
Francis is here. Welcome. Mince? Did Mince win before? No, what was Mince
No,
from?
Mince hasn't won before.
Mince is from one of our clans. Mince has been around since the early days. I remember the name. I just haven't seen it in a little while.
No, I don't think Mince is in one of our clans.
Dude, Mince commented on like our 5th video ever or something.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like the name Mince has been around forever. So, all right, let's get Mince into the coaching channel.
Yep, Mince, I did go ahead and get you assigned here so you can join us in the coaching voice. As always, you don't have to join us live on voice chat or on the stream, or you can join us in voice chat but not on the stream. You can chat to us, whatever works for you, but you can go ahead and just join us and ping Cole your details.
Send me your account information. I promise I won't abuse it.
The next mythic I see, I'm feeding to a 1-star.
Oh man, that would be
Pure
to
evil.
crunch a mythic on somebody. Holy cow!
Oh,
Dude, you may as well just shut down your YouTube channel right away because there's no way you survive that. Like, I'd have to like grow a beard and like get a wig and change my name and start a new channel.
Undercover Cole.
Yeah, to crunch somebody's mythic, that'd be sick.
That's brutal.
Hey guys.
Hello. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, it's been great.
All right.
Fantastic.
So-
Happy to have you join us.
Yeah. I'm just gonna send you my account.
Okay. Are you okay being live on having your voice on the stream, or do you want me to mute you on the stream?
Just mute me on the stream.
There we go. We will do that. And that means I'm muting you too, son. So just so you know.
Yep.
All right, we are good to go. Getting the information. You can just DM me directly. That was a kind of a fun takeover for me too. I hadn't gotten to play around with a mythic yet. Yeah. But man, that account goes to show you how poorly the like Plarium like transmits good information about stuff like how to build your champions to players. You know, because Wicked is a level 44 account. You know, and he's in the right places. He's doing the right things. He's got some good champions. Like he's doing things that players would do who are gamers and who play other games and are like, okay, these are the things I should focus on. And yet he's also missing key components of that. So like the picture doesn't come together, you know? And it's like the only way you can get that information in this game is from content creators. That's the only place to get it. Because Raid just doesn't transmit it to anybody, you know, like, and it's not even like, oh, you know, this crazy build or a deep dive on this champion or really entertaining content. We're talking about like basic mechanical stuff about how fights work, like how do the stats work, how do the skills work, where do you go for certain things, you know? But yeah, I mean, getting whatever we got. What did we get? Almost 60 speed on that Deacon. You know, like that Deacon. Hello. Okay. I did not get a DM. Let me see. Let me do this. Oh, there we go. Okay. I got it. All right. Let's get this in here. I wonder if there's a limit to the account. I got to start clearing out all of the accounts. All right, that worked. Logging in now. What would you like to work on today, Mins? Okay. 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 Normal Hydra. Right. Okay. Faction Wars. Who does 60 next? Okay, so we've got 3 areas here. Sorry about that. That was a little bit of a conversation there now that he's muted. So we're looking at Hydra and which level of Hydra? The first level? Mint? Or easy and normal. Okay, so easy and normal Hydra, and then faction crypts, and then I'm sorry, what was the third thing? Oh, who does 60 next? Who does 60 next? Okay. And you just 60 Bivold of the Thorn, who is a great champion, by the way, for Hydra, because Bivold has 2 provokes. He's got this AoE provoke. It has a 100% chance for 1 turn. And the Leech and Provoke debuffs can land even as weak hits. So they can be resisted, but it doesn't matter. Affinity doesn't matter. So you can use him. He's your one-stop solution for provokes. And then he also has a provoke on his A1. Again, it can land as a weak hit. So if you have a Bivold of the Thorn and you're interested in Hydra, this is maybe the best Hydra provoker in the game. He's definitely one of the elite tier of provokers in the game. So it looks like you almost have him booked out. Not quite. You still need 2 books, but are you going to book out his A3 or do you not care? Okay, so you're not going to book him out. All right, and then gotcha. For Vizix. Okay, so Vizix is the next one you're thinking about bringing up? Okay. Now, in terms of, you also said you just leveled up Rector Drath. Rector Drath is another great Hydra champion, so you've been focused on Hydra quite a bit lately, huh? Okay. So, yeah, so you've got masteries here for Rector Drath. You've got masteries, like you got all the scrolls for Bivold of the Thorn. Okay, so let's go take a look at your Hydra team. Let's also get your Guardian Ring going. I'm going to throw some food champions in here. Because I can't help myself. Let's do some 1-stars. We'll throw in some 1-stars there. Okay. All right, so let's go look at the Hydra team. Have you already used your keys? No, you haven't used your keys. Okay. And so this is your team. How does this team do on hard? I'm sorry, on, is it normal? Yeah, on hard. Okay. So how does this team normally do on hard? Seekers, the provoke, right? Yeah. So this team looks like it does okay, probably, right? Okay. So the Head of Torment. Yeah. Okay, so the information we're getting here from Mince is that he's having trouble now that the Head of Torment and the Head of Wrath are in the same rotation. Now, if you look at this team makes great sense. It's a really good team. You've got your Provoker, you've got 3 turn meter fills and a speed boost. It's going to be going very fast. You've got Artac for HP burns and AoE damage. You've got Ugo here who's going to drop defense and drop attack. And I think, what is that, block buffs on her or something? Does she put out block buffs? What is she? Decrease defense, block buffs, increase. Yeah, so no decrease attack. So decrease defense and block buffs. You've got 2 increase attack champions. You've got revives. You've got a reduction of enemy buffs on the Arbiter. And then you've got Shamil for the fears that come out. The problem with this composition, if you look at it, is that it is mostly magic affinity. And now you've got 2 bosses who are force affinity. So you're weak into 2 bosses. And the Head of Wrath is tricky because the Head of Wrath can one-shot a team. Yeah, and you don't have a decrease attack on him, and you don't have an increased defense or anything on this team. You do actually have an increased defense on your Seeker. And your Seeker's probably in the wrong position here. So your Seeker should be in the 2nd position. Right? Because unfortunately you can't have him in the 1st position, but you want him in the 2nd position, because here's how Seeker's passive works. If he gets hit with a critical, he puts up his increased defense buff on everybody behind him in order before they get hit by that same hit. So it instantly activates and applies the buff. So you want him as close to the front of the turn order as possible. But in terms of like this rotation may just be a rotation where, you know, unfortunately, you might be in a tricky situation. What I would say is you might be overdoing it. You might be overdoing it on the speed. You need a provoke champion. Bible of the Thorn is going to be the swap here. So probably if we're looking at a team setup, like let's just look at a team setup here. So we're going to be pulling in. We're going to be pulling in Newt because he's going to be strong. Well, let me just double check the rotation. I'm sorry. Let me just double check the rotation. So he's only going to be weak into Mischief, and we don't care that much about Mischief. It's a pain. The biggest problem with Mischief is when Mischief devours a champion. But if you have the AoE damage and you can blow that head up, then it doesn't matter that much. And Newt's going to be strong against the other, like two of the three other heads in the neutral affinity. So potentially we could pull in Newt, but let's see. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at our other champions. We're going to be pulling in Bivald. You still have to have your Shamil. You need a provoke. Oh, well, you have your provoke now with Bivald. So you still want some turn meter fill, but the question is, where do you get that speed from? I might go with Deacon. We'll have to look at Deacon. So what we would probably do is put Deacon in the lead here like this. Now you've got 2 damage dealers. You've got a provoke. You've got some turn meter fill. You've got a decreased defense. Sure. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so you're going to have Bivald as a Mischief tank on one team, and you're going to have Shamil as the Mischief tank on a second team. Right. Okay. Yeah, and that's a good way to do it. So what we're talking about is Mischief tanking, and if you have, so in order to Mischief tank, you need one champion who is going to consistently have more buffs than everybody else. So you either need somebody who's going to have a self buff that they only put on themselves that puts them over the top, or you need to create a buff somehow. And one of the ways to create a buff for a Mischief tank is through a Blood Shield ring. So Blood Shield ring would give an artifact shield on the champion, just that champion, and potentially create a Mischief tank that way. Now, what a Mischief tank needs is high resist. So you build them with high resist, and that basically means that when the Mischief head attacks that champion, the buff steal is resisted, and then the Mischief head can't spread those buffs to the rest of the heads. So you're basically preventing the Mischief head, the head of Mischief, from stealing your buffs by creating a Mischief tank. Now, it's interesting to do it with Shamil because you want him hitting hard, right? He's going to be one of your primary damage dealers. So do you have the spare stats to put a lot of resist on him and get him to the resist point that you need and keep his damage high, right? And I'm not sure if you do. So you would have to look at that. Right. Yeah, you can. So this is another discussion that we're having is if you have Shamil hit very hard, he's going to counterattack the Head of Torment a lot. And then the harder he hits, the faster you kill the Head of Torment. And for some strategies, you may want to keep the Head of Torment alive. So you can just use Shamil primarily as a debuff remover and don't kill the Head of Torment. So make him basically hit as weakly as possible, and then get him in that high resist and use him as a mischief tank. And that could work. That's an interesting idea. But if you're going to do that, you're going to need another damage dealer, because you always need at least 2 hard-hitting damage dealers to make sure that you can get your champions back when they get devoured. If one of your damage dealers gets devoured, you need the other one to be able to free that champion. So if Shamil is not hitting hard enough to clear ahead and get Artak back, say, then your run's going to end really quickly. Now, it's possible that you could bring in a third damage dealer. Now, you have Skrank, who's a great damage dealer. You could build him up to 6 stars. So he works really, really well in Hydra. You were already talking about Vizix. She's going to add that AoE slow, and that's going to give you more time to get those champions back. So she's great. She's also an AoE provoker, so she can go on another team. So potentially, if you have Bivold and Vizix as your 2 provokers, you're not going to want them on the same team. I'm not saying you want them here together, but she also has that AoE slow. So, you can think about how that's going to benefit you. And the nice thing about her is she doesn't weak hit, right? Because she's void affinity. So you just make sure she has enough accuracy. One thing to consider about Vizix is, because she's an ally protect champion, you need to have a lot of sustain on that team. She's not exactly squishy, but when the ally protect is up, if the Head of Wrath hits, she's dead. There's no way to save her, So if you're going up against the Head of Wrath, you need a Demitha for a block damage, or, you need something, a revive on death or a reviver at least, to bring her back and get her going again. Because she will die. So, potentially Rector Drath could work with her. The Perfect Veil could help mitigate a lot of the damage that happens when the Head of Wrath slams. And then you'll have a revive to bring back your Vizix potentially. So that could work. You could put them together. Sure. Yeah, 2 separate teams. So in 3 keys, the goal here for Mince is to clear normal with 1 key, and then clear hard with 2 keys. So you use your 3 keys. You need 3 teams. That means 18 champions. Now, you only have 1 Shamil, right? So if the Head of Torment is out there, that one with Shamil is going to be the primary team for hard mode, right? Gotcha. So this is, dude, I don't know why you're asking me for help. I think you've got this dialed in. Yeah, no, you've got the plan. So here's an interesting thought too. This is another strategy. I mean, this is more advanced than I typically have covered on the Hydra, because a lot of my viewers are more early game, and this is clearly like a late mid game into, late game kind of fight here. But so what Mince is talking about is, so handling the Head of Torment is really tricky. Basically, when you hit the Head of Torment, right, the Head of Torment places a true fear on anybody who hits that head. So Shamil is a perfect solution to that, because Shamil removes fears and true fears from his allies and then counterattacks the enemy that put that fear out there. So that's a perfect solution. But there's another solution here, which is these fears only get placed when allies or enemies are not under perfect veil. So if you are under a perfect veil, then the fear doesn't land. And that's why he built Rector Drath, because Rector Drath has an ability, and it's a very cool ability. Yeah, where is she? There she is. All right, so she has this ability. It's her heal. When she heals allies by 20%, she'll put a perfect veil on anybody who has full HP. So basically, you want to make sure you get this out there before anybody's taken a big hit. And that would put Perfect Veil up. And as soon as everybody has Perfect Veil, they don't have to worry about the fears. Now, in addition to this, because this is on a 3-turn cooldown and it's only up for 2 turns, you need a buff extender. And so Mince was talking about Godseeker Aniri, and Godseeker Aniri on the A2 increases the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn, therefore giving you a 3-turn Perfect Veil on a 3-turn cooldown. Now, you will have to speed tune that properly. They'll have to be close in speeds, and Rector Drath obviously needs to be able to get that out there before any of your AoE damage dealers go, because as soon as they go, they're going to get feared, and that's going to mess up your tune. But that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. Now, I think the plan here, if you're trying to get Mithrala as quickly as possible, and you're like, okay, if I can get the top chest here for hard, get the Knight chest, right, which is 20.4 million. And if your clan is clearing this, that's 2 of these chests. And then if you can 1 key normal, that's 2 more of these chests. Now you get 1 to 2 fragments of Mithrala here from the warrior chest. And then I think you get 2 to 3. Yeah, so that would be a minimum of 3. Let's see, if this is doubled, that's going to be a minimum of 4. So that's a minimum of 6 shards per week. And a maximum of, what, 8, right? So, you know, for 100, you could be talking about pulling, you know, your Mithrala in 14 weeks or something like that. Now, I don't know how many, let's see how many fragments you already have. You probably have some, I'm assuming, right? You got 35. So you only need 65 more. So potentially you could do this in 8 weeks or 9 weeks. So yeah, that would be fantastic. So I don't know how much I can add to you. It sounds like you have a plan. And really the best thing about, like, the best thing you can do as any kind of player, but a free-to-play player or, you know, even a low spender or whatever, is you want to have a plan with your account. Have a goal, have a focus, and then put together the best idea you can for accomplishing that. And it sounds to me, honestly, like you've got a perfect plan. You've leveled up the right champions. You now have Bivald of the Thorn, who's going to be great for you. And you now have your Rector Drath, who's going to be great for you against the Head of Torment. And she's just generally good because Perfect Veil is a 15% mitigation all around. So that's going to help you with the Head of Wrath. I would say that, you know, you can consider, like I said here, you have these 3 speed champions, which may be too much. You don't necessarily need to just go as fast as possible. You need to have all the things that you want. So for this team, potentially pulling out, you know, maybe Arbiter, maybe Apothecary, pulling one of those out and finding another champion here who can give you additional utility. Maybe Arbiter because he's weak affinity for the Head of Wrath. He also has a 3-hitter that's, you know, so he's going to land attacks, like, because it's random, right? His A1 is random. Yeah, so it's 3 times at random. So you can't control the hits that land on the Head of Wrath, right? Because all 3 of them could land even though you're not targeting Head of Wrath. So it's like, it's one of those frustrating things. You really want to control the Head of Wrath. You might want to pull out Artak when the Head of Wrath is up there because he's weak affinity. And again, everything's an AoE, so you can't avoid hitting, you know, him. So potentially, you know, you do have Newt, you have Baron, you know, you've got some other hard hitters that you could potentially sub in. You could think to build a team around Geomancer for this particular, rotation. You've got a lot of good champions here. Duke the Pierced is a great champion who decreases attack, and you don't have a decrease attack right now. So you could look for a decrease attack. Anybody who brings you a strengthen, anybody who brings you an increased defense could help you survive against that Head of Wrath. But it looks like you're building the right champions, and I don't really have a ton to add here. I mean, I think the one thing, maybe is if you're looking for that second big damage dealer and you don't want to worry about affinity, Skrank is a great Hydra clan boss damage dealer who is, great against all affinities because his A3, so it has a 100% chance of landing HP burn, attacks all enemies, and then it fills his turn meter so he gets more turns. And then he gets this passive that increases his damage and crit damage when the HP burns trigger. And so this is one of those few champions. Most HP burn champions, they do their primary damage through HP burns. But this guy also just hits super hard, right? So he puts increased attack on himself. He's got a weaken out there for one target. And then he just chews through target. He hits so hard. So this is a great guy to consider building for another team. You also have Herndig, by the way, who I love because he brings the decreased defense on the AoE. He brings a weaken on the AoE. And then he's got HP burns that are conditional. But this guy also hits really hard. And you can build him as a debuffer or you can build him as a nuker. So you have some other options for damage dealers, you know, going forward with Hydra. As far as like choosing your next 6-star, I think the best thing you can probably do is build the 6 stars out you have, get them into those Hydra fights and see how they do, and then figure out if you're missing something. And then look at your roster and it's like, should I build Skrank next? Do I need another damage dealer? Should I build Vizix next? Do I need that extra, provoke and slow and ally protect? Or should I concentrate maybe on another utility champion that's bringing something that I don't have? I don't, it's hard to say. It's definitely hard to say because there's you have so many good champions, and I don't think you've wasted any 6 stars. There isn't a 6-star on your roster other than maybe Coffin Smasher, who obviously plays early on, right? And then Aothar, who's actually like a really, really good clan boss poisoner if you're using him that way. But those are the only 2 champions that I'm like, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I would have kept those at 5 stars. But even still, I would still say it makes sense for some accounts to bring those up to 6 stars. Same thing probably with Steel Skull. So maybe those are the only 3. But everybody else, I mean, beautiful champions, beautiful choices. You got Demitha, you got Maneater, so you've got an unkillable, squad there. Gorgorab is awesome in Arena. Obviously you've got your Painkeeper again for the unkillable, but also for just general, decrease of cooldowns. I love the Soulbond Bowyer at 6 stars. She's going to do work for you in Faction Crypts and Doom Tower and Secret Rooms. Miscreated Monster, still an OG like powerhouse with the shields and the ally protect and the stun. So yeah, I mean, there's no fat on this account. This is a very cleanly built account. And it's a good model for people to look at and say, this is how you get value out of every champion. But yeah, obviously, you're not there yet. You're still, you're not even level 80 yet. What are you, 76 or something like that? What did I see before? Yeah, 78. So you're 78. So you still got a ways to go. Obviously, there's still places to grow. There's live arena. You got to figure out your Iron Twin solution and your Sand Devil solution and all those solutions. And then you got to get, you got to get it up to Brutal Hydra and Nightmare Hydra. So there are places to grow. But honestly, it looks like you're doing a great job. So you asked about Hydra, you asked about your next 6-star, and was there one other area that you were hoping for some advice in? Mm-hmm. Floor 90 normal Bommel on the last rotation. Okay. You've got your Master Butcher. And you... Yeah, Bommel is tough. So the things that you want to watch out for. So it's not just champions. For Bommel, it's not just champions. It's also masteries. So, one of the things you have to watch out for is this Evil Eye mastery. So if you have champions that you're bringing in there with Evil Eye, that can be a problem. And then also you have to think about buffs, and how many buffs you're bringing. And so, I mean, between Master Butcher and Vogoth, it feels like you should have something. Now, I don't know about Geomancer. I don't own a Geomancer, and the only account I've ever pulled one on is only like level 55. So I don't actually know how to build Geomancer to beat Bommel. I know that you can, but that's never been a solution for me. So what I would be looking for is survivability and seeing how I could withstand the dread bombs And then you want to slow on Bommel because that does help. And so that debuff is worth bringing. And then if you have a freeze, if you have an AoE freeze, that can be really good. If you don't have a freeze, you can go with a block damage buff. That can be really good. So there are a couple of things you can do. So honestly, I mean, I'm looking at the champions you have, and I'm like, okay, you've got Vogoth, you've got Master Butcher, you have Rector Drath now at 6 stars, who's amazing against Bommel, because she has the decrease attack on him, and then she's got the perfect veil for your team, and then she's got a revive in case anybody dies. So, you know, and she's got heals to get you back. So she's amazing against Bommel. She's one of my favorite champions to take against Bommel. So next rotation, consider her. If you can get a slow on him that doesn't include a turn meter decrease, that can be really good. But if not, you could try Syl of the Drakes. You know, potentially get her out of Relentless if you're willing to do that, and put her in regen, or just put her in the tankiest stuff that you can get her in, so that she can withstand the individual bombs when she places the slows. You need the accuracy, obviously, to land as well. And then as far as damage is concerned, you know, the damage is almost like secondary. If you can survive every wave, you know, and so like you just survive the dread bombs and you survive all of the different turns that he does, remember the buff strip that he uses as well, then you should just be able to outlast him, which is typically what I try to do. And all I personally care about is beating the floor one time and moving on, because I don't farm Bommel. I don't really care. So I would definitely consider bringing in Rector Drath. I think she'll be very helpful. And then yeah, you're going to need a direct damage dealer who's very good. And again, you have Newt, and Bommel is... Yeah. So here's the thing about Newt, because he has the decreased turn meter, and it's 100% chance of decreased turn meter. And so potentially, if he's hitting hard enough, it doesn't even matter, because you can literally just blow up Bommel that fast because he hits that hard. But here's another thing that you can do for Bommel that can be kind of interesting, which is you can turn meter control him, drop a bunch of dread bombs if you know the timing, and you can bring in a Demitha, forget Vogoth, forget Butcher, Master Butcher, just time your block damage, and don't worry about bring in as much turn meter decrease as you like, because as long as they're all hitting within the same time frame, you know, you're going to get one round with Demitha. If you had like a Helicat, that would be better. But, you know, then you can just nuke Bommel out as fast as possible. And because it's only normal Doom Tower, my guess is Newt won't need more than 2 turns to kill him. You know, yeah. Yeah, let's try to get one more in. So, Mids, I think we're going to call it there if you don't mind. But yeah, definitely let us know how the Hydra, you know, team progresses, because I think you've got a good idea there with your champions. And honestly, I don't know what I could add to what you've already considered. I just think having a plan is really important, and you clearly have a plan. And as long as Hydra is your focus, that's going to help you choose your next 6 stars, because we know you've got at least 2 more really good 6 stars you could choose there with Vizix, and then with Skrank, or even with Herndig if you wanted. Although I think Skrank is the better choice for Hydra. Yeah. On some factions, you cannot do it. We'll pick one faction. We'll give it a quick review. Which faction do you think would be the Orcs, Demon Spawn, Skinwalkers? All right, so let's see if we'll take a look at take a quick look at Shadowkins here. Hatatsu is a must build for Shadowkin faction. I mean, at least at 50, because he gives you the aura. He gives you the increased defense in all battles aura. He gives you leech for the bosses. He gives you decreased attack for everybody. And then he gives you the increased defense and continuous heal. Power champion, just a power champion. And phenomenal for faction crypts. You are lacking here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to do it with what you've got. You probably could, depending on the gear that you have, if you just like overpower it, but you would probably need all 60s to do that. Honestly, the best pull you could look for, and I'll be honest, I tell this to everybody who's struggling with the Shadowkin faction crypt, the best pull you can look for is Kinagashi. If you can get Kinagashi, you build her up to at least 50, make her as tanky as possible. She's got great stats, by the way, 105 speed, 18k, like really good support stats. She's got a turn meter decrease, which is nice. She's got an ally attack, which is really nice with the turn meter fill. But then she's the only epic reviver who is not conditional. She will just straight up revive anybody. So as long as she's alive, she can keep reviving somebody. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. You could build her in reflex if you felt the need to, or relentless even. But just make her super tanky, and she's gonna get there with what you've got. Because I think you've got enough. If you just had that one support, if you build out Hitatsu and Kinagashi, any 3 damage dealers, you've got Ninja, obviously, so you're going to be fine. And so that's what I would look for. But unfortunately, until you pull Kinagashi, the only other way to do it would be to go really tanky. And like, you have all damage dealers right now. So build out a Hitatsu, get a Burn Giri, get a, Taragi the Frog, whatever you have to in that faction to get through it. There are great epics here, but you just, unfortunately, you don't have the supports yet. Yeah. All right. Mince, well, thanks for sharing the account, and and good luck, and let us know how it goes. You're welcome. All right, I'm gonna take the channel off mute here. So yeah, sometimes, for the takeovers, like Mint's account was really interesting because I'll be honest, you have put more effort, Mints, into your Hydra teams than I have in like the last 4 or 5 months. The last time I made a real Hydra push was before I had Mithrala. As soon as I got Mithrala, I was like, whatever. And then they created Hydra Clash, and now I'm like, I have the champions to make incredible Hydra teams. But it's going to take me rebuilding several champions and really focusing on it. And so like, I'm pretty good at like the normal and the hard level of Hydra. I do brutal. I can actually 1-key brutal most of the time, but that's more just a result of me having a sick roster at this point than it is about any specific like effort to get those teams. So yeah, like I have a Bivold of the Thorn, and as soon as I got him, I was just like, I'll just throw him in a team. Let's see what happens. And he works because he's awesome, but it's definitely one of those things where, your expertise in that area is going to surpass mine if you keep pushing that area. And then eventually, probably what happened to me is what will happen to you. Like, unless you love that area, you'll get your Mithrala, and all of a sudden it'll be less important. And you'll be like, I'm going to focus on something else, So yeah, it's Hydra takes an effort, and I think you're just focused in a good area right now. And Mithrala is so good. She's so good. If anybody out there is scared of getting into Hydra, just build one team that can get the top chest from the normal level. Like, just put some effort into that. Spend a week there, build a couple of champions, get those Mithrala fragments. Even the first chest, if you can get the first chest, it'll take you a year, but if you can get the first chest, get that Mithrala, because she is literally a top 5 champion in the entire game. I think including the mythics. That have been added, I would still put Mithrala as a top 5 champion in this game. She is almost perfect. I mean, there's almost nothing that she can't do. She does everything. So focus on Hydra. Focus on Hydra at least a little bit. All right, so we're gonna do another takeover. And so if you haven't already, make sure that you get into the Discord, react to Sun's message in the Wheel of Takeover room, and then we'll spin the wheel in just a little bit, in a minute or two.
You've got.
Yeah. So if you've already clicked it, you don't have to click it again. If you've already reacted, you don't have to react again. And if somebody has left the stream who, previously entered, then if they come up, we'll just pull again. All right, let's get back to chat for a little bit. Stenbrick wanted me to check if he's got resistance enough. You can have 10 accounts on your Plarium Play login screen. Thank you, Mr. Fan. That's good. Yeah, I have to start removing some then because no, I'm not there yet, but I should remove other people's anyway.
On a quick little side note, got my sidebar done.
Oh, nice.
I'm just trying to decide if I want to use the barrel on her. It'll get my quest done. So I'm kind of tempted.
Oh, come on. All right. Yeah, that could be good. All right, I've removed everybody's accounts. So I'm back down to just... Oh, not everybody's. I got to remove one more. I'm back down to just my 4 accounts. My current 4 accounts on Plarium Play. So here's the question. How close are you on her masteries? You're close on her masteries, right?
No, I haven't even touched her masteries.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking about using the barrel and buying her masteries, or are you just thinking about using the barrel?
I'm just going to use the barrel. In fact, I already did. But it gets my my Arbiter mission done. And since the CVC has Minotaur double points, I am now going to just run it down mid in Minotaur.
Okay. All right. All right. Iki Ray says, I just built Hitatsu today, clan boss, and possibly in Hydra as well. Very good champion. Hitatsu, I don't think he's necessarily a secret anymore. I think he was a secret for a while, and people weren't necessarily knowing how good he was. I'm going to log into my account so we don't have to stare at a blank screen here. But yeah, Hitatsu is a very, very good champ. He's perfect for faction wars. He's really good in clan boss. He's really good in Hydra. He's really good in dungeons. If you need a tanky champion who brings some survivability to your team, that's what he does. Increased defense, leech, and continuous heals. Plus defensive aura. Really good champion. One of my favorite sort of under the radar champions. Like I said, I don't think he's a secret anymore. I think enough people have discovered him at this point, but very, very few people build him or prioritize building him. And I think if you got this guy in the first 45 days of your account, instant 6-star. Like instantly 6-star, unless you just have tons of tanks. Because having a defensive aura in all battles at 25% is great. Increased defense, perfect against wave content, great against the clan's boss. Decrease attack, perfect against every boss. Leech. I mean, survivability all in one team. If this guy had like a strengthen or an ally protect on him or something, people would be calling him like a top 10 epic in the game. I mean, he's that close to being like the perfect tank. It's like, but he's still extremely, extremely good. And then the amazing thing about him is if you take him to 6-star, you never lose value on him because he will become a key feature of your faction crypts team. So great, you can farm faction crypts a lot more easily. But you're going to use him in secret rooms in Doom Tower. You're going to use him like as a spot replacement in Doom Tower. So you'll continue to get value from him. You can even put him into, some dungeon teams that you wouldn't think that you could use him on, especially if you don't have like meta champions, which often free-to-play players don't have. Like this guy's never a meta champion. He's never a meta champion, but he's just really strong. And if you don't have meta champions and you have to find a different solution, this guy can often be part of that solution. He even has this really cool passive where he removes a random buff from himself and he starts with CCs. So like he can remove his own CCs, which is pretty cool. All right, we ready to do the the Wheel of Fortune?
Ready.
All right, let's go ahead and fire it up.
The Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, right? It looks like the Wheel of Fortune.
All right.
It's spinning.
Spin to win.
It is spinning. Let's see what happens. Takes a little while, doesn't it?
Mitty asks, was that a play on League of Legends talk, son? Yes, it was. That's actually how Cole and I met. Probably like, what? Oh, well, it's
13 years ago?
13, 14 years? Yeah.
The winner is Thup. Is that what we've got? Thup? Thup. We've got Thup. All right. So, Thup, if you are out there, say hello. And then jump into the Discord. Come down to the coaching voice channel. We'll get you squared away. We'll get you permissions to get in here. Unless you're not here. Is Thup here? If you are in YouTube chat, if you're in the live stream chat, say hello so we know it's you. Did you send him a DM?
I was just doing that right now.
Gotcha. Look at me trying to tell you how to do this like you don't know what you're doing. On your birthday, no less. I'm a bad friend. All right, we'll give him a couple of minutes, just in case he just stepped away for a moment. But if he's not here, we'll do another one.
Good. We'll give him a few moments. I just had a DM, so.
Okay. All right, got to do my arena. There's a lot going on today. Playing 2 accounts, doing a live stream and a video, and celebrating birthdays. Yeah, everybody, we did that before where there are only 20 people in here, but it is Son's birthday today. So if everybody wants to give him a shout out, happy birthday. Mitty says hello. We got Exile in the house. Moto. Mince, you're very welcome.
Where's the cake? The cake's in the fridge.
Godazord is here. Yeah, he didn't want to be on the stream, so that's why you couldn't hear him. I was trying to relay the information. Tributor is here. Tributor says, if you crunch a mythic of mine, shake my head. Full head of hair.
Oh, thanks everybody for the well wishes. I appreciate it.
All right. B Cherry. Tanang. Tuan Duk. Happy birthday, everybody. To Son. Man, that's nice. That's nice.
That's the whole chat now.
Yeah. Fat Dave 3000. Yeah, everybody's saying hello. I got to remember to have a stream on my birthday now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, anytime I want to feel good on my birthday, if I do, I don't know why I would, but if I do, I would just log into Facebook because it's like Facebook is for me. It's like it's obituaries and happy birthdays. That's all it is, right? Like it's like somebody died or somebody got married. Like that's those are the only things that happen on Facebook anymore.
All right, we haven't heard back, so
I'm gonna give
it another spin.
Let's try again.
Free drinks on me. Yeah, sure, why not? And then I'll be the first to leave. Somebody else gets a tab. All right, we got our next winner.
Our next winner is Rubenand, or Rubnand, perhaps. RHUBBHANAND. Rubenant.
We had Midi took a guess. I'm gonna guess that Sun played jungle and Colred was support or mid. You got one right.
That's a pretty good guess. Oh, he got them
Yeah.
both. You played a lot of jungle, and I played a lot of support.
I did play a lot of jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm a dirty DPS. I was an AD carry main. So it was Cole and I bot lane.
Yeah, we played a lot of bot lane together. Realistically, though, like if we had to say what Sun played and what I played, Sun played top lane, he played jungle, and he played AD carry. And I played support and also support.
The only thing I didn't play was support.
You very rarely play mid.
Yeah, not as much mid.
Yeah. And I did occasionally dabble in the jungle, or I would occasionally dabble with mid or top lane if I had to. Like season 1, I was a top lane main. And then like season 2, I was like a jungle main. And then I maybe halfway through season 2, I realized support was where it was at, and I never changed again. All right. So did we get a message out to Rubenand?
No, same thing.
Same thing.
I'll send him a quick message.
Okay. All right. I think what we should do maybe is we should reset the message and just have people who are currently in the channel.
Yep, I think that's the next plan here.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So we're gonna do another reroll here, but I am going to clear the reactions.
Yeah, so if you are still interested in a takeover, you have to go into the got to go down to Sun's message, click on the reaction.
Go to the hub.
And yeah, we're going to do the whole thing again. You've already done it once. I don't have to tell you how to do it. Just go to Discord and do the thing. Don't poke the bear.
Demanding.
Don't poke the bear right now.
Take over my account.
I'm 2.5 hours into a stream right now. I've got no patience for this. No, that's not true. I don't mind at all. I don't mind the wait. I just want to have people waiting, looking at nothing. That's why I'm on my account here. Let's see. What do I have to do here? Do I have to do anything? Let's do our daily missions. Make sure we've got them all done. Charm at the forge. Let's go make some perception gear. Ooh, be good. 6 stars. Ooh, be good. Wow. 4 legendary pieces. HP percentage, speed and accuracy. Winner. That was awesome. That was awesome, man. I have not hit on a good perception piece on this account in like 2 months, at least. On my other account, on my new account, I've been hitting. But on this account, I have not hit on a chest piece in a long time. That is nearly perfect. That is a nearly perfect piece. Speed and crit damage. No, thank you. Accuracy and speed, even though it's 5 stars, I will keep that just in case I get a triple or quadruple roll. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Don't need that one.
All right, we got a whole bunch of folks in here, so let's do one more spin.
Let's do it. That's two legitimate pieces there. I'm gonna go roll up that chest piece.
Excel says, take my account.
There we go. Beautiful new piece. Let's roll this up. Let's see what resistance. Yeah, see, these are all like having an HP percentage chest plate is just so valuable. Speed or accuracy. Come on. Speed or accuracy. Speed or accuracy. No, yawn, anything but attack. Ah, damn it. This is what stresses me out about this game. Accuracy, okay. And 1 in speed, I guess. Yep.
All right, well, we've got our next winner. Trowa.
Troya?
Trowa.
Trowa. Wo ist Troa?
So if you're here in the YouTube chat, Say hello, say hello. That's me. And we'll go ahead and get you in.
You got to be here. You literally just reacted.
I know, but you know, hey.
You got to be here.
Maybe
React in
they
the
ran
chat.
it
Say,
down a bit,
yay,
all right?
I want to take over. Is it Mitty? Is it you? Who is it? It's Mitty. All right, let's go ahead and get Troa into the channel. All right, we've got somebody here. We're going to do a takeover. It's going to be fantastic. I can feel it.
Yep, Mitty, so I went ahead and signed you so you can join us in the Coaching Voice channel if you'd like. It's only not necessary to be on voice chat. You can chat. Don't have to be on stream if you don't want. All that is completely optional. But go ahead and just hop in, join us, and then you can ping call your details.
Yeah, and just send me a DM with your login information, and we'll get rolling. What do I need to do here? I need to do clan boss. I didn't use my clan boss. I did my ultra nightmare. Just need to do my nightmare.
We misread. It's Morgwar who won.
We know who it is in Discord, so
in
that's
Discord.
yeah. Oh, JB is just saying that he won, or she won. It's Morgwar. Yeah, no worries. Takes a sec. Sometimes it takes a sec. All right, by the way, let me just... We were talking about Faction Wars. I think a lot of people are talking about Faction Wars. I'm going to show off my Faction Wars team for today. Let's see. We got Dark Elves and Undead Hordes. Okay, so this is my Dark Elves team. Oh, no, I can't show you my Dark Elves team. I don't have keys. This is my Undead Horde group. By the way, my Undead team was the last team to come. Like, this is the team that I needed to get my Lydia. And I did not have Morgan at the time. So I'm trying to remember who I had. I think I had Elagaius. And I think it was this. I think the team was set up this way. And this is how I cleared the crypt. So Elagaius has a revive, like a weird kind of conditional revive. Is that right? Is that Elagaius? Or am I thinking of... No, I'm thinking about Gamaran from Shadowkin. I confuse those two. Elagaius has a... Oh, I know what Elagaius has. Elagaius has a lockout that he copies onto other champions. Here it is. Puts the target skill on cooldown, also places block debuffs for 2 turns. If the enemy team has duplicates of the target champion, will also put all their skills on cooldown and place a block buffs debuff. There is a wave that has 3 Valkyries. So all you have to do is hit one of them once. No more counterattacks. That was the fix. That was the thing that fixed. Now, Elagaius is an awful champion for basically everything else. But for this one floor, he totally solved my problems. So yeah, that was my team. But in the meantime, I've gone to Morgan and I've tried this. But this actually dies sometimes because I don't lock out the Valkyrie. And so I think I should probably go back to this. I wish I could show you my Dark Elves, but I already did them today. All right. Do we have information yet?
Yep, we've got Troa in the Discord.
Okay.
So Troa, you could just go ahead and ping Cool directly. As far as if you're cool being on voice chat, stream, just let him know and he'll take it from there. Oof.
Why do I keep losing? Oh, there we go. Hello? All right, I've got the channel muted just in case. But I think Tro is checking their email. All right, let's keep going here then. Yeah, so this is something that we should we should do in the future, which is if you want a takeover, double check your account information before you sign up for the takeover. Because if you can't find the email or the password or something, then we have to, you know, wait a while. And it's just better if everybody's got it already set up. But yeah, that's on me. I should have. We're learning. It's only week 3. We've only done these twice before. I think they've gone pretty well, all things considering. Considering the hack job that this channel is. we don't have any like previous knowledge of doing any of this stuff. We're just slapping it together every week, just figuring out how to get from one day to the next. Seems to be working so far. 1,500 subscribers we just passed. 1.5K subscribers, which reminds me, and this is another thing I need to get better at. Please go ahead and like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, join the Discord. Most of you probably have done that if you've signed up for Takeover, but if you haven't, feel free to. And by the way, on Friday at 1 p.m., we'll be having our Noob versus Pro live stream. So that is where we bring Sun back on here. We show both accounts. These are our new accounts that we just started for the Sun Wukong free-to-play challenge. And we just stream for 3 hours and have fun. We talk trash and show you what's going on with our accounts. Our accounts are 36 days old or something now. And he is kicking my butt. I am the pro, he is the noob, but it doesn't look that way. It does not look that way. Yeah. Now, to be fair, noob though you may be, you also edit all my videos. So you get a front row seat to every single video. Everything I tell people, you get to see. And in fact, you see it more than everybody else because you have to watch my face in slow motion and you have to cut stuff and move things around. So you know, noob is like technically correct, but it doesn't feel like you're a noob. I just love the fact that when somebody asks something in chat during one of the streams, like rather than seeing if I'll answer the question, you just start answering the question. You're just like, oh, I know the answer to that. Oh, I know the answer to that one. It's like you and Tommy Dash need to make your own stream, and the two of you could be the experts because you guys know everything. Like between the two of you, I don't know what I'm doing here. Tommy's not in today's stream, unfortunately, but Tommy's like the guy who knows the most esoteric stuff about Raid Shadow Legends that I've ever come across. There's a content creator. His name is Soda Dragon. I don't know. I haven't watched him in a little while, so I don't know if he's still making raid content. But that dude's an encyclopedia. Like if you ever watch one of his videos, like he'll do a shard pull and he'll pull 50 champions and he'll just rattle off all of their skills and like everything that they do without even looking at their profiles. He's just like, oh yeah, that guy on the A3, he does this, and on the A1 he does this, on the blah blah blah. He knows this. Oh yeah, this is his speed stat. This is, you know, he's got 20k HP on his HP. It's like he just knows everything about every champion. I'm constantly impressed by that. I'm like, how do you know that much? Like, how do you remember that? It's like, of course, as a free-to-play player, I don't have all of those champions, you know? So it's like, I know some champions really well, but even the ones that I play all the time, I don't know as well as he knows, like just random rares that nobody plays. Soda quit. So one person says Soda sadly quit, and another says Soda is still doing some content. So Sinks, hey. Who else? Anybody else come in? But all right, so we've got some information here. All right, we're going to get this going. All right, let's get going. Our last takeover of the day. Hey, Medi, do you also live in Florida? Son lives down in Florida. Here we go. That gigantic state where I don't want to say anything about Florida. Nothing. I don't know. It's a big state and it's hot. Okay. All right. So Troa or Midi or whichever you prefer, why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about your account, what you're looking for some help with, while I go ahead and click all your red dots. Just let me know what it is that you are looking for some help with. You got a nice bit of energy saved up. If you're going to do a fusion, we got a level 97 here. You're the same level as me. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to help you here. Holding on to your banners. All right, so I'm going to ask you this. So first of all, why don't you go ahead and mute me in the stream so they can hear me in the Discord channel? And then either shoot me a text if you don't want to talk. You're mute. I think you're muted. Did I mute the channel? I muted the channel, so you can talk to me if you want with the microphone, or if you don't want to, just go ahead and chat. Just type me something. But let me know what you're looking to get done here, because you're clearly, you know, at end game here. I'm going to check out your roster. All right, we got some good champions here. We got a +1 ninja. Who is this lady? Marinix. I don't know Marinix. Oh, I've seen her before. So AoE Hex champions are becoming more and more popular because of like, it's just, I don't know, it's recently been a thing. I guess for Hydra specifically, but she's strong. It's not booked yet. Troy, you got to give me something to start on here, man. You got to, I don't know what to do with your account. In the stream chat, I'm struggling with finishing Iron Twins and struggling with picking between Double Man Eater or Myth Fu. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at your clan boss first, and then we can talk about Iron Twins. All right, so here you've got 63 million on a 2 key. Okay, and you've got a Helicath team. I'm assuming this is not speed tuned. You've got a counterattack, you know, unkillable champion here. You've got a poisoner. You got an HP burner. I mean, Ninja's got to do a ton of damage. So the fact that you're getting less than 30 million per key here tells me that this is not tuned. Because even if this were a 1-to-1, like speed tune, you should be getting 45 or 50 million on a key. So I'm going to guess that you're not speed tuned. Now, this is something I can help you with. This is definitely something I can help you with, because you don't need 2 damage dealers if you've got Ninja and you got Helicath. All you need is the right speed tune. So let's go look at your champions here. Now, the first thing I'm looking for is a Seeker. You know what? Let's just do it this way. You've got a Seeker. You've got a Seeker and a Helicath. All right. You've also got a Demitha, you said. You got a Demitha and a Seeker and a Helicath. Is Demitha already booked out? She's booked out. Okay, so that makes it a little bit trickier. So here's the thing. If you have 2 unkillable champs, if you have 2 block damage champs that have 4-turn cooldowns, you can swap them. so they can go every other turn for each other. So Helicath will go turn 1 and 3, and then the next round he'll go 2, and then Demitha would go 2 and then go 1 and 3. So you can do that. But Demitha can create a team all on her own. Obviously, if you can get the speeds right, you can go fast enough. Typically, you need a Seeker with her to make that work. You've got Deacon. I mean, you've got Fane. You've got Ninja. You should definitely be able to speed tune. So let's go ahead and what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna load this into the Hell Hades optimizer first. And let's check out the suggestions here. But my guess would be that there's going to be a relatively straightforward Helicath speed tune, or you can go with Demitha. But Demitha is... they're both great. They're both great. The Demitha speeds are sometimes tricky to reach. All right, so let me get this up on the let's see. Let's see. Do I have a different one? I think I might have. Almost. All right, let's go with that for now. All right, team optimizer. Let's go ahead and look at, so if you don't know, this is hellhades.com. Everybody should know this. You go here, you sign up for an account, it's totally free, and you can download the HH Artifact Optimizer. And one of the things that this does, you don't have to have Plarium Play anymore. You used to have to have Plarium Play. You can actually do this on mobile now. But it uploads your data to the website, and then you can use this team optimizer. So we're going to go in here to Ultra Nightmare, and we're going to try to find a team. And it'll suggest teams. Now, what you can do here is you can, based in this column, you can include specific champions, you can exclude specific champions, you can change the affinities that you want. And so we're looking here. This is the Myth Air, right? Version. You've got Newt and Ninja doing your damage, and it's 102 million right there. So, as long as you're willing to reach these speeds on your champions, so for instance, and this is a major consideration for me as a free-to-play player. I might not want to run Newt at 205 speed. That might be way too slow. I might want him at much higher speeds for other content. But if if it works out for me, or likewise, Ninja might be too fast at 283. I might prefer to run him at 240. Because if I get him up to 283, then I can't use him in arena or something. He's too fast. Likewise, you have to reach a Demitha of 317 and an Eris of 322. Now, something to note about these speeds is that these speeds, once you put them into the Clan Boss calculator, you may be able to manipulate them and bring them down somewhat. Maybe these are at the top end of the ranges, or maybe like some of them are related to other ones. So for instance, maybe the only thing that's true here is that Eris has to go faster than Demitha, and Demitha has a base speed of, say, 310. So you could bring her all the way down to 310 and run Eris at 311, and it would work fine. But you're not going to know that until you actually get into the calculator and start messing around with it. Now you can go back and you can check some other ones. You can be like, okay, here's a Martyr, Helicath. This is a weird team. Why would you put Martyr and Skull Crusher? I guess because you want the ally protect. And then, and increase defense. So you're going to have, that's an interesting team, actually. Here's the Myth Fu, right? I don't know if you have Corrado, but obviously you could run it with another damage dealer. Again, this is going to be Eris and Demitha, and these speeds are much more manageable. Again, this is a 93 million on Void, single key. And that's great, but two things to consider here. One is that when it's not on Void, especially Spirit Affinity, is it going to be able to do Spirit Affinity? If you can 2-key Spirit Affinity, sometimes that's great. Full auto, everything except Spirit Affinity, and get a 2-key full auto on Spirit Affinity, and maybe that's enough to satisfy you. You can probably swap out Corrado and put in Ninja, but again, Are the speeds right for you? I like to run my Seeker really fast because I use them in dungeons. But if you have two Seekers, you could one run in a speed tune. That's what I eventually did. I made a second Seeker so I didn't have to mess up my main Seeker. And I had my main Seeker somewhere else. So this is not a bad team. Let's exclude Eris for a second. I want to see what it suggests without Eris. Here's the Warcaster thing. This is probably similar to what I was talking about, which is Warcaster is on a 4-turn cooldown, Helicath is on a 4-turn cooldown, and so they swap. And that would work really well. That's a nice scenario. Now here, there's no stun mechanic, so somebody just takes the stun on this one. There's no cleanse, there's no block, buffs, debuff, or block debuffs buff. There's no block debuffs buff. This is an interesting one with Anax and Ninja. Here you've got Demitha and Helicath. So if you're looking to run, and again, Seeker, the Farrakhan is the ally attack, which gets you more ninjas, but I bet you could maybe even run this with a counterattack. You might be able to run this with a counterattack. The speeds would probably be a little bit different because remember, Ninja gets turn meter on his A1. I don't know if MIDI is chatting in the live stream because I'm not tracking that. Your average speed is 250, so you're having trouble with those. Okay, but still, get in here and you can check the you can check the speeds that you can get against the teams. So one of the things you can do here is wait a second. You can change the affinity. Here you can go to Spirit Affinity and see what works there. Here's a good one. That's 102 million. And here's the thing. If you have a team that is speed tuned for Spirit Affinity Clan Boss, then it will be speed tuned for everywhere else. Whereas the reverse isn't true. These are very fast speeds here. But again, your Seeker is going to be the key to unlocking a lot of speed tunes here. Let's include Helicath. Let's just say it has to be a Helicath team. And then let's go with Seeker. And let's see what we get. All right, so this is 81 million damage. This is Spirit, right? So as long as we can do Spirit, as long as we can one-key Spirit, we should be able to one-key pretty much everything. Granted, affinity will matter in terms of damage that you put out. But so I didn't check if you had Emic. But yeah, this is another option. Let's look back at the game. Let's just see what your let's see what your roster looks like. So there's our Seeker. You've got a Doom Priest. You've got a Sandlash Survivor. Do you have a Sepulcher? I didn't see a Sepulcher. You have a Warcaster at 60. He's fully booked out. 227 speed, which is probably close to where you need to be. You have not geared your Demitha, probably because you're thinking about getting her into a speed tune. Yeah. Let's check out your gear a little bit. Wow, you have a bunch of ungeared champions. I'm assuming you stripped them at some point knowing that you were going to rebuild them for a speed tune. Yeah, some of your champions are running a little bit slow, but in general, you're doing okay on speed. You're floating between about 180 and 230 in most cases, which is where I run most of my champions. I probably don't run that many between 180 and 200 anymore. But I run a lot of champions between about 205 and 245. That's probably where most of my champions are. And then I run a dozen champions at 250 to 300, and then I've run like 2 champions over 300. So yeah, like how fast is your Arbiter going? Yeah, you're at 319. So you're, we're pretty close. I think mine's 322 or something. So, it's almost exactly the same. And if you got her out of a perception set, and if you could get a speed set there, you'd pass me, I'm sure. So, let's take a look at your speed gear. That's a nice piece with 17 speed there. 16 on that one, and that could still roll. 16 there. Triple roll into accuracy. Double rolls into speed. Triple roll into crit rate. Double roll into speed. Yeah, I mean, it feels like you got some 6-star speed boots. You got one here. Unfortunately, no accuracy or crit rate on that one. So I think if you messed around with your speed builds, you could probably reach the speeds that you needed for Demytha. Like if we were just going to build her out, let's say if we could go as fast as humanly possible on her, because you have to get her over 300, right? With masteries, you would go and you would get, almost certainly you'd get Lore of Steel if you're really stretching to reach the speed, right? And then you want 3 speed sets. And remember, with an unkillable, literally the other stats don't matter. With an unkillable composition, all you care about is getting everybody in tune, and then you want your damage dealers hitting as hard as possible. But everybody else, like as long as they're, I mean, you want to land your debuffs if you can. So like if you're using Helicath as your weaken champion, you want to get the weaken out there. But that lends itself to Lore of Steel anyway, because that allows you to go for accuracy here. And you don't really care about Demytha's heal. Like I know she also heals, but you don't care. So it's like you can just go whichever way feels good that's going to help you get what you need. Just avoid the turn meter masteries, right? Just make sure you don't have those, because she does put out a shield buff, and then she puts out a continuous. So like the buffs would throw it off. I guess you could, I don't know why you would put the debuff on her, the debuff mastery on her. But let's just out of interest here, let's see how fast we could get. Whoops, fitting room. Let's see if we have any. That's 17. That's the fastest that I'm seeing here. I don't see any triple rolls into, oh, there's one. But it's also 17. It's a 5-star. So actually, let's steal that one. And that one. I know he's in your clan boss team. Don't worry, I won't switch your gear. There's your triple speed. That's staying on Arbiter because you want her as fast as humanly possible. That is a nice piece, by the way. It's a triple roll into speed on a 6-star. This is disappointing, isn't it? This is like, this could have been so good. And it ends up being like, it's not awful. It's still a triple roll in defense, but not nearly as exciting as you'd like it to be. So I'm seeing 12. I really didn't see any good speed rolls into shields here. So I think this 12 is the best. This one, let's try that on. 12, 12, 13, 14. Again, I'm not taking from either of those champions. Quad roll into defense. With resist, speed, and accuracy, that's a very nice support piece. Even with the flat defense on it, that's a very nice support piece. But that hurts, doesn't it? When you see the quad roll in defense, you're like, man, if that could have just been speed. Yeah, I can't take from either of these two. So we'll go with this 12 for now. There's 15. That's nice. Thank you.
I just realized it.
Yeah, let me change that. Hey! That's the wrong one. There we go. Go get back in the middle there. Okay. Sorry, guys. I was covering all those stats. So chess piece, we're looking for, there's 15. That's probably going to be the best one. And now we just need boots. And just, they're all the same. So let's just, we'll just see a six-star piece. So this gets her to 258. None of those are glyphed except for this. And you have 1 on that. So with these, we're looking at, say you get an average of 3 on a glyph, which you should be able to do better than that. That's another 18. That's 276. And now if you put the Lure of Steel on her, you're going to get an extra, what's 15% of 36? 3.6 and 1.5, 0.4%. So about 5.4. That's going to be, another 6 speed on her. And now let's look at the banner. You got no speed on the banner. There's a triple speed on your banner. That's all you would need, but it's an accuracy banner. You don't want her in an accuracy banner. But yeah, even this, you roll this up. Maybe we'll hit another speed. That's perfect. This is an HP set with defense and defense, which is great for her. That's going to put you over 300 speed. So you can reach the speeds you need on Demitha. You can reach, I would say you could probably reach, if you went with the big glyphs, if you really went all out and you're like, I need this speed tune to work because it's my 1 key Ultra Nightmare, and I need Demitha running at 315 or whatever it is. You could get there because you're potentially looking at additional, call it 35 speed here. That gets you to 310 right there. And that's without even the Lure of Steel. You throw the Lure of Steel on there, it's going to save you an extra 6. That's another substat roll. So you can get your Demitha fast enough. You can absolutely get your Demitha fast enough. So if you need to run that Myth Air team, and it said you had Eris. I don't know if you have Eris built. You do have Eris built. Now, you also need to get her super fast in order to run that combo. The other option would be to go with like the Myth Fu that you were talking about. So what I would say is the first thing you need to do is go into the optimizer or go to Deadwood Jedi's site and start writing down all of the speed tunes and the speeds. Start looking at the speeds and be like, what ones can I reach? Focus on anything with Helicath and Demitha as the leads, but also remember the Warcaster, because you have the Warcaster. You could also potentially even go with you do have 2 of these. So obviously, but you need to speed tune. And when you speed tune, you have to make sure that you have the right gear and you have the right masteries that don't mess with the speed tune. So I'm just going to really quickly run you through all of the masteries that can mess with the speed tune. So this is good for everybody. Okay. So you got to worry about rapid response because this increases turn meter. You got to worry about arcane celerity because this increases turn meter. So either one of those can mess with it. Okay. And those are the 2 big ones here. But another one that people forget about is Cycle of Magic. You can't have Cycle of Magic on anybody whose buffs matter, right? Because if you want the buff to come up at the right time, you can't decrease the cooldown of that skill. So you have to make sure that you don't do that. In addition, you probably want to avoid Spirit Haste. For an unkillable team, it doesn't matter. You can have Spirit Haste if you want, because if nobody dies, you never get any extra speed. But that's basically a throwaway mastery anyway. As far as I think, this is concerned, basically, this is, timely intervention you need to avoid as well. Probably on an unkillable team, it's fine. But maybe on like the first turn or on a particular turn, somebody takes damage at one point before it comes into tune, and this can throw the tune off. So you have to avoid that. Now, the other ones to worry about are generally in the offense tree. Again, some of them are like increases speed for each enemy killed by this champion. Probably doesn't matter for an unkillable team because you're not killing anybody because it's a clan boss. So until you kill a clan boss, you're not getting any extra speed. Likewise, it has a 30% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random skill for 1 turn if the damage inflicted by a skill exceeds 30% of the target's max HP. You're not going to hit that hard against the clan boss. So these are ones that could throw off a speed tune somewhere else, but aren't likely to throw off the clan boss speed tune. Now, you do have to watch out for counterattacks and extra turns and any cooldown reduction things. So, for instance, if you're in the defense tree, Retribution has a chance to counterattack. Now, sometimes counterattacks are fine and they don't matter, but sometimes counterattacks do matter because they might change the turn meter. So if they give a turn meter boost like Ninja does, right? Ninja gets a turn meter boost on his A1, you have to watch out for Retribution. Likewise here, Cycle of Revenge has a 50% chance of increase in turn meter by 15% when an ally is attacked with a critical hit. Now, the clan boss has a 15% chance to critical hit. So if the clan boss critical hits, this changes the turn meter. That throws you out of tune. So if you're struggling with the speed tune, you want to make sure that you check masteries. Now, in terms of artifacts, you got to watch out for certain artifacts. The biggest ones that you got to watch out for, let me close this out. The biggest ones that you got to watch out for is Relentless. Now, you can sometimes use a Relentless, but it's almost always on a DPS, and it has to be tuned for Relentless gear. So some tunes will say you cannot use Relentless. Some tunes will say you can use Relentless. And the reason is all of the champions stack up in an order. They're like dominoes, right? And like one domino hits and it has to touch the next one. It has to touch the next one. It has to touch the next one. So if all of a sudden one goes down and then like it goes again, do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily hitting the right thing in the right time. So it's like throwing an extra domino in there some of the time, but not the rest of the time. And so that can throw the speed tune off, but sometimes there's enough leeway in the speed tune to allow for it, and it doesn't matter. But you have to know, and I don't know, but the website will tell you, which is nice. So you do have to watch out for Relentless gear, and you can't have Relentless gear on anybody who does a turn meter fill or a speed buff or an unkillable buff or a block damage buff or a block debuffs buff. You can't have Relentless on any of those champions. You certainly can't have it on your Seeker. And then over here, there is, what are the other ones that are problematic? The other big one that you have to worry about is Reflex. So this reduces a random skill cooldown. Now, it's not 100%, so you don't know if you're going to get the cooldown or not. Again, this is like Relentless. On a DPS, it may not matter. You may be able to get away with it. If you're just trying to come back to like a hard-hitting skill as quickly as possible, that's fine. But on anybody else where this affects turn meter or buffs, especially, you can't have Reflex on them. Yeah. Let's see. All right, Mitty said, what was that Hell Hades thing you use? Artifact Extractor. Yes, that's what you want. How did you miss that banner? Oh, no, I missed that. I swear I can read. Listen, one of the things about me coming into your account is that, like, and obviously everybody's looking at it right now. Everybody's looking at your account. You can have moments where you look at a champion, you're like, oh my gosh, that champion's embarrassing. Right? Like, I'm embarrassed by that champion. I can't believe I missed that, or I can't believe I didn't see that, or I can't believe that champion's in that build. You shouldn't. Don't be embarrassed. Don't worry about it at all. I have tons of champions that I built 12 months ago that I haven't rebuilt. Right? And when I go back and look at them, I'm like, really? That guy's running at 175 speed? I thought he was at 230 because everybody else is at 230. And at 175 speed, he was still getting the job done. So I never thought about rebuilding him. So that can happen. Or you can have like, I still have life sets on a couple of people. You know what I mean? It's like, you have life sets? Life sets are so, they feel like after the first 30 days of an account, you should never have a life set again. But sometimes you do. Sometimes they just have the right stats and they work on a particular champion and you go ahead and you use it. So to help you out all the way to, finally answer your clan box question, which speed tune you should go with, I don't think you should decide ahead of time. I don't think you need to do that. I think what you need to do is go into deadwoodjedi.com or go into the optimizer, the HH optimizer, pull 5 or 6 different ones that look interesting. I would focus on Ninja. Ninja is incredibly strong, does a ton of clan boss damage, has Brimstone. This is the only damage dealer you need. You don't need a second one. You don't need an Occult Brawler. You don't need a Newt. I do 120 to 150 million on a single key with just Ninja. With just Ninja as my only clan boss damage dealer. So you can absolutely do this with Ninja. And what I would say is, consider the sets. obviously you may have to retune this guy for the speed anyway. So when you're rebuilding, consider your attack stat, consider your crit rate and all that stuff, and make sure you've got that going. But also consider the sets that you want. You know, you don't have to have them in a savage set. You don't, but maybe you want to push the crit damage a little bit or whatever. Like the sets you've currently got are fine, and you've got the right pieces on them. But you know, my point is, if you can get a little bit, if you can get let's say 2 pieces like these that fill these roles but are in the same set, like a crit damage set or a savage set, not a savage set, I'm sorry, a cruel set, you know, that might get you a little bit more damage. But this guy's going to hit more than hard enough. When you speed tune, right now you're getting 30 million a key. As soon as you speed tune, you're going to jump from 30 million a key to like 90 million a key with the same champions that you have. Like, it's crazy how powerful speed tuning is. So don't worry about the damage. Like, don't focus on the damage first. Focus on the tune and just look at the champions and say, if I use these champions in other places, does this speed make sense for that champion in another place? If I have to run Seeker at 180, am I running Seeker in another composition where he has to run at 240? Because if that's true, then maybe I don't want the Seeker at 180 and I want to go with a different build that lets me run him at 240. And as a free-to-play player, you know, and it looks like I'm looking at your account, like you're level 97, you're like me, but you're not a big spender, right? Because you don't have that many 6 stars. Like you have, let's see, 40, 50, 60, 70. You have 72. I think I have like 75. And so we played around the same amount of time, and we have around the same number of level 60s. You know, so clearly you're not a big spender. So that means every champion that you build has to matter to your account somewhere, and they have to get value somewhere. So breaking up 2 or 3 other teams, hurting a dungeon team, like breaking out your, you know, breaking up your I don't know, Dragon 25 team or your Spider 25 team when you don't have to for this, you know, that would be a bad call. So do definitely consider, you know, whether a double man-eater would work, whether a Warcast or Helicath would work, whether a Myth Fu kind of or Myth Eris would work. Highly consider a Doom Priest for an affinity-friendly team if you can get the ratio right. You're going to need at least a 2-to-1. Don't go at a 1-to-1 or a 4-to-3. You want a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 ratio to get the damage out from one champion. So Ninja needs to be running at a 2-to-1 or you don't get your 1 key. At a 1-to-1, it won't work. So make sure you've got a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 speed tune. And what I would suggest is once you think you've narrowed down your choices to 2 or 3 choices and you feel really good about getting those champions to that speed, take some screenshots. Take some screenshots of that, like in the calculator. DM me. Send them to me. Let me know. Post them in our Discord. People will help you tune those and make sure you get them right. But you should absolutely at this point have a 1 key Ultra Nightmare. And you should be as close to, like, if you had to speed tune 2 teams, like one for Spirit Affinity and one for everything else, like I could understand that happening. But you should probably be able to get a full auto 1 key on all affinities. It's tough to do that, so don't hold yourself to that. If you can get a 2 key on Spirit Affinity and a 1 key on everything else, that is worlds better than what you've currently got. And you've got amazing champions. You should be able to do it. It just, you know, you have to commit to it. Now, here's the other thing. If you don't have the speed, if you can't get everybody to the speed that you need, then you know what you have to do, right? You have 2 options, really. Like, 1, get in here and forge as many perception sets as you can, like farm. You know, you've got thousands of the, you know, the legendary materials here. You need to get some epic materials. So you might even need to back off like the top tiers of your faction crypts to get more, you know, get more of these. I don't know. You get a lot of bloodstones, of epic bloodstones for clearing stage 21. But you need as much perception as you can get, especially for your debuffers or whatever. And then you need to drop, I don't know, 10,000 energy into Dragon. There was just a 3-time speed event in Dragon that just passed, right? So it's like, I hope that you were in here. But if you weren't, the next 2 times or 3 times speed event that comes in here, drop 1,000 gems worth of energy into getting speed gear. Because where you are on your account, you don't need champions. You need gear. Gear is more important than champion. No champion will progress you as much as good speed gear will. Like if you can get triple rolls into 6-star speed gear, It opens up worlds for you, not just in Clan Boss, but in dungeons, in Iron Twins, everywhere else. So, okay. So you did mention Iron Twins. So I want to take a look at your Iron Twins. By the way, you also have all the champions you need for Iron Twins. You don't have any keys. I don't want to use 150 gems to get your keys. That's kind of a waste. But I'm gonna walk you through a good team. All right, I'm just gonna walk you through a good team. Actually, let's take a look. This will be helpful. Let's take a quick look at the fight here. How do? Oh, we can't. We can't do it. Can we do it here? No. Oh yeah, here we go. Now this is just the basics. I don't think this is the fight. Yeah, this doesn't include the fight. Okay, unfortunate. Okay, so there are a couple of things that you really want for an Iron Twins team. One is you need a slow. You need a reliable slow for every affinity. The other thing is you're going to want to build a different team for every affinity in most cases, unless you're going for an unkillable team that is like affinity friendly, which you can speed tune, by the way. There's actually an Iron Twins speed tune calculator out there. I haven't used it myself because I already had my solution when I found it, but apparently a lot of people use it. So you need a reliable slow. If you don't have a better slow than Scylla of the Drakes on her A1 gives you a slow. You also have Vizix, who is, affinity friendly in terms of landing her decreased speed. So you could certainly consider her. Vizix can be a little bit tricky. You may want to turn off her. No, you really can't. I was going to say you can't turn off her ally protect. So it depends how you run Vizix. Who else do you have a good slow on? Ruella has a slow, right? Decreased speed on her A2 with a decreased defense and a weaken, which is pretty solid. So you could certainly use Ruella. So what I would highly recommend is if you are going for an unkillable comp with Clan Boss, you might as well go for an unkillable comp here in Iron Twins. And often you don't have to speed tune it. So for instance, let's say you use Helicath and Warcaster, Helicath and Warcaster can get you a great unkillable comp in Iron Twins. And then it doesn't really matter who you bring. But typically I still like to go with the right affinities. Bring the slow in so you don't have to deal with the turn meter increase, because what the slow does in Iron Twins is if you have a slow on, when you get a buff, nothing happens to the Iron Twins. If you don't have a slow on the Iron Twins, every time you get a buff, it increases their turn meter. And so they get more turns when you buff your team, unless you have that slow applied. So you want a really consistent slow. Now, the problem with them getting more turns is not only do they hit you more often, but they apply their debuff, that ramping debuff, to you. And that's based on the affinity of your champions. So you can also slow that down by bringing in the correct affinity champions. So you have Demitha, you have Warcaster, you have Helicath. You have a great, core for building an unkillable composition. Now you need to get your slow, you need to get your turn meter, and then you need to get your damage. But your damage is not as important as anything else, because literally I farm the top level, whatever it is, 15 or 20 or whatever the heck it is. I farm it in every affinity. It takes me like 6 to 8 minutes a run. It's not fast. It's never fast. But in every affinity, it's like 95%. So I just click it on auto battles. I flip to something else while I'm working, or I go have dinner. I come back and it's done, and I've got all of my keys done. Now let's see who else would work really well there. Painkeeper, right? Painkeeper is going to be great because she's going to reduce the cooldowns on those unkillable buffs, on those block damage buffs. You've got your Mithrala. I don't know why she's not 6 stars. Maybe you just got her, but this champion, you need to build this champion. She deserves to be in Iron Twins. First of all, you're going to have strengthen, increase defense, increase attack, a shield, poisons, and hex. Hex doesn't matter as much, but you perfect perfect champion for everywhere. Everywhere. Build this champion and get her in there. So let's say you had Mithrala, you had Painkeeper, you had, let's say, Demitha and Helicath. Let's say that was your team. And then you just need to throw one more champion on there who's got that slow, and that could be Scylla the Drakes. And you're like, there's no damage there. Yeah, but Mithrala brings poisons. Helicath brings a weaken. Helicath's going to get some counterattacks. Right? Like, that team will win for you. Now you have a magic affinity. You've got a couple of void affinities, and you've got 3 void affinities, and you've got a spirit affinity. So that's not great, because in the affinity Iron Twins, you want to match the affinity of the Iron Twins. So if it's a spirit affinity Iron Twins, you want to bring as many spirit affinity champions as you can. But you have other champions you could potentially bring in there. You've got Sandlash Survivor, really good. Grush could work for you. We already saw Ruella has a slow, so you could swap her in for Scylla the Drakes. You could have Newt. Newt does a ton of damage. He's also a defensive based champion. He's going to bring you good debuffs. So he could be swapped in and survivable. Martyr is awesome, right? Martyr is going to give you an increased defense and the counterattack, plus the decreased defense, plus the decreased attack. So fantastic champion. You have Brimstone Honor. You also have defense in all battles. Make her your lead. Hers is better than Helicath's, which is 30%. She's got a 33% in all battles. I think it's the biggest one in the game. Or it was. It might have been surpassed recently. I forget. Another option would be Tatura Rhyme-Hide. Great champion. Really good with that increased defense and then the perfect veil plus the shield. So it makes you very survivable. But you need a slow. So right now it looks like Ruella and Scylla the Drakes are probably your best option. You also have Lady Kimmy. She's got a slow. She's got a decreased speed here. So you could bring her in. I would probably bring in Scylla the Drakes over Lady Kimmy, just because she's more survivable, she's tankier, and she adds tankiness to your team with the heals. So yeah, you should be good here. You should totally be good for Iron Twins if you go that unkillable route as well. If you don't, do you have Geomancer? You do have Geomancer. So the other option is Geomancer. Now here is a crazy build I heard about a couple of months ago. I haven't built it myself. You can research it. There is a build which is Geomancer, Helicath, and 3 Painkeepers. Okay, so you need 3 copies of Painkeeper, but they don't have to be leveled. You just need the books on them. So if they all have their cooldown reduction at the right thing, you can speed tune this. What happens basically is that the Painkeepers get Helicath's block damage around, right? And then Helicath keeps putting up his block damage over and over and over again, and you keep buffing your team with it. That increases the speed at which the Iron Twins go, so they keep hitting you, and then Geomancer kills them with the reflect damage. So, where is it? It's his passive, right? Decreases the damage all allies receive by 50% and deflects that damage onto each enemy under an HP burn debuff placed by this champion. So you get the HP burn and the weaken out, and then literally every time they attack you, which is over and over and over again, they're just killing themselves over and over and over again. So if you have some Painkeepers in the vault and you want to go with a relatively cheap, relatively easy way to build, a fully affinity friendly, because you can do it in every affinity. It's one team. It has to be speed tuned. And you can then go ahead and kill every Iron Twins, like farm every affinity. That the only reason I would say you have to worry about that is you have to find out what the speed is for Helicath. It may be that you can put him at a speed for Iron Twins that also works for a clan boss, or you may not be able to. In which case, if you wanted to use Helicath for Iron Twins, you would have to go with like the Myth Fu or the Myth Eris or one of those, Demitha compositions. You can do a Demitha and Warcaster comp. That works. There are a few out there on Deadwood Jedi's site, so you can check that out. But yeah, that's what I would suggest. Godseeker Aniri is also really good in Iron Twins. She's also good everywhere. She's just phenomenal. Okay. You just dropped 10k energy onto that 3 times speed. Okay, good. Swish, hello. GOT, welcome. It's good to see everybody. I hope that was helpful. I didn't actually want to rebuild anything. And again, getting into the clan boss calculator and really retuning somebody can require a very long period of time and a lot of silver and gems and all sorts of stuff. And sometimes it can still not work because you have to experiment with the clan boss and you need keys available and all that stuff. So I hope that this at least gave you an idea about how to progress with clan boss. You have the champions. I have 100% confidence you can get to a 1-key Ultra Nightmare without any new champions. Obviously you'll need to reach the speeds that are in the speed tune, and then you just have to have practice with the clan boss calculator. But if you're looking for ideas, go use that HH optimizer tool. Get some new. Let me change this. This is bothering me. There we go. Check your gear, see if you can reach the speeds you need, and then again, you only need ninja. You shouldn't need a second damage dealer. And that's going to free you up basically with the gear that's on those other damage dealers. You can pull them off, or you can switch them around, or you can do whatever to make sure you can reach the speeds that you need. And don't forget the accuracies. Especially for anybody who lands an important debuff like Helicath, to land that weaken, you have to have the right accuracy. And that weaken's incredibly important in a team where he's the only weaken. So, all right. Any questions, Mitty? Let me know. Shoot them out. All right. I'm going to shut this one down here. I'm going to go back to my account. So I feel like most of my takeovers turn into coaching sessions. They're not actually true takeovers. I rarely rebuild anybody's stuff. I think part of that is me. Like, I just don't feel super comfortable. I don't want to invest people's limited resources in a thing that I don't know if they're going to take. What I prefer to do, and you can tell, I do this in my videos, right? Is I try to give you good information so that you can make the best decisions that you can make for your account, but also for your play style. Because one of the things that can happen, and this is not true for everybody, but like, let's say we look at my account here. And, maybe you've got a champion you love, you just think is really cool. Maybe you really like Carl the Scourge. You just think he looks really badass. And he does, by the way. He looks great. Right? And you're like, I want to run this champion everywhere. Okay. What if he's not optimal? I don't care. I want to run him. Okay, do it. You should. Why not? I bet you can make it work. He's a great champion. He's super fun. And remember, he's only one champion on a team of 4 or 5 or 6. So if you can put the right champions around this guy, I bet you could run him in every fight in all of Raid, and he would be perfect. Now, you might not want to do that. You might be like, I don't care about you, Carl the Scourge. That's also great. Like, that's literally great. But when I take over somebody's account, I don't know that. I don't know if you have a champion you love. I don't know if you have a champion you hate. I don't know if your focus is on, accomplishing the goals in the game, or if it's like creating a roster that you feel really proud of. And those two things might be the same sometimes, but they might be different. And so, I also don't want to mess up any teams that you've put a lot of hard work and effort into, like, creating. So you might have built a team that requires, let's say, Lady Kimmy, and then I want to steal her gear to speed tune your clan boss team, and all of a sudden that breaks your Lady Kimmy team that you spent 2 months trying to build, and I don't know that. So I also don't like doing that. So I think what I prefer to do is I like the coaching style. I don't mind rebuilding some champions when there are clear improvements to be made, and like on an early game account where it's really flexible. But on a couple of late game accounts that we saw today, I was hesitant to do anything, even though they had resources. Simply because I don't, it's a personal thing. Like, your account is a history of investment. If anybody came onto my account, even if I was like, hey, I'd really like a Nightmare Hydra team. And they're like, oh, you've got the perfect champions and you've got the gear for it. But they broke my clan boss team, or they broke my, like, Dark Fae level, Doom Tower hard 120 team. Like, I'd be miserable because I tried so hard to build those in the first place. To be like, yeah, I can get Hydra Nightmare now, but I got to rebuild my clan boss team. So I never want anybody to have that experience. But anyway, I hope you guys have found this fun today. It's been a good stream so far, son, I would think. So far.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Dave said, this is gold.
Yeah, it's been a good birthday stream.
Solid gold.
It's a long birthday stream. What are we going on? We're going on 3 hours and 35 minutes. Okay. So, yeah, that's going to be it for us today. A couple of reminders to everybody. One is we do this every Tuesday. So if you are interested in a takeover, please do a couple of things. One is if you want two-factor authentication on your account, do it now so that next week there won't be any glitches and you can just go ahead and, apply in that. The other thing is make sure you join our Discord. Try to have some silver available, some resources available for a takeover. Think about what you want in the takeover. If there's a particular area you're looking for that I can help you with in maybe like 40 minutes or so. And then the other thing is make sure you have your sign-in information, because a couple of times today we realized, we didn't have the right password or maybe email account or something, and that slowed us down a little bit. And I want to make sure we can get to as many people as possible. The second thing, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. I got to remember to say that more often. I don't always say that. We also have a Friday stream that goes live at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and we're thinking about having a Saturday stream. So we might move the Friday stream to Saturday. That is our Noob versus Pro stream. We're thinking about that. So consider at least checking out our schedule over the course of the week on our YouTube channel so that you can see when we're live streaming. But this is our current schedule has been Tuesday, Friday, but it might become Tuesday, Saturday. Or it might become Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. Who knows? Yeah. Anything else? Do we have to mention anything else? Oh, if you're looking for a clan, if you're interested in joining one of our clans, first of all, during Clan v Clan, you can't join. Like, not that you can't join a clan, but you can't participate. So if you're in a clan, don't change clans during Clan v Clan. Just get your rewards and then change afterwards. But if you are looking for a clan, we are about maxed out on our 2 clans, but we're thinking about starting a 3rd clan. So it may take us a week to get that organized. Because we're going to have to figure out how to populate it and who we're going to put there. And if we're going to move people from the current clans into that clan, if they want to go, we're not going to force anybody to move. But yeah, so go ahead and put an application that's in the Discord, and we will try to get you into a clan. That'd be fun. Am I missing anything, son?
Thank you, everybody, for the happy birthday wishes. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that is it. Good luck with the CVC, and I'll see you in another video. We'll have another video tomorrow. Do we have tomorrow's video yet? We got to shoot a video after this. We got to shoot it. I gotta go record a video. God darn it. All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun. We will see you soon. Say bye, son.
Good one, everybody.